Hey there, everybody. Welcome to Noir Bar. And joining me here at the bar is Far. How you doing, Far?
Yeah, I have ham.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You see, so the other night, Far tells me that she went and we're on Discord. Um, I'm an insomniac and she lives on the other side of the world, so it all works out. And she's like, "I'm gonna go get some English ham." I'm like, "The fuck is English ham?" I never heard of that. I've heard of Virginia ham, but I looked it up. Apparently the English, it's literally an old English word, so it wasn't taken from another language. Usually you see that, like from the Latin hamos, meaning of the pig, that kind of thing. But no, not in this case. It's actually an old English
Very
term,
nice.
ham, and yeah. What does ham mean? It means just that, ham. It's own word. It has no other meaning. it,
Ham is ham.
it's funny because the description that I read was like, so anything as long as it's from that area of the pig, right? It was it can be smoked or not, salted or not, seasoned or not, flavored or not, or salted or not. I'm like, Jesus. Okay, so in other words, as long as it's that shoulder before the knee joint area, it's ham. Got it.
Yeah, ham is very vague, apparently.
Mm-hmm. And to my surprise, Far is unaccustomed with cloves, which because I'm in the middle of fall crab apple prep. My parents, who live across the county line up there yonder over, have this big, huge crab apple tree in their yard, and it produces they're really more small apples than they are large crab apples. They're that damn big, and they're fantastic. So you can make all sorts of stuff out of them. I'm going the two easy routes of apple butter and apple sauce. And so I'm like, I need to go get some cloves and figure out. And apparently, cloves don't make it into a lot of Australian cooking.
Well, I've never heard it. It doesn't mean that all Australians haven't heard of this. I'm isolated, Polly. Remember that.
No, you're not isolated. If you got Ryan Walters is crab apple, like literally, Ryan, you never heard of a crab apple, or you just there's small little apples. Like it's a certain. Oh man, I looked it up once. There's like hundreds of varieties of crabapple tree. It's a tree that produces small little apples. See, that's Prospero gets it. She's like cloved oranges, cloved hams, ground cloves in apple dishes, yummo. See, here was my problem though, Prospero. I don't have a mortar and pestle because, well, I don't. And so I had to figure out a makeshift way of grinding up cloves. And
Oh god.
remember this, Far, when I was telling you about this?
No, I remember this. That's why
Yeah.
I'm going, oh god.
And
I remember exactly what you did.
I had to look it up online, and it was a good suggestion, just one that it's like, use a pepper mill. And I'm like, right, of course. But then the warning, and I'm like, yeah, I took that warning very seriously. You're going to have to dedicate that pepper mill, like your pepper grinder, to cloves for the rest of its existence, because anything you put in there is now going to taste like clove. Doesn't matter how well you wash it. That clove oil is going to permeate, the whole setup. So it, well, okay, Prospero says, she goes, they're a beautiful blooming tree. You should see pictures of this tree. It's just solid white with apple blossoms. It looked awesome. And it's like the fruit is hard as nails, but usable. And that's what I mean. This has got to be some kind of like super tree or weird hybrid crab tree, a crab apple tree, because they're just like little apples. Yeah, they're tart, but they're not rock hard like I've seen some. Like usually when we were kids, we just threw them at each other because they were hard and they hurt like shit. But I mean, we did. We were boys.
Isn't this like also a really finicky tree? Like sometimes it just produces a shit ton of apples, sometimes it doesn't.
You're absolutely right. It's a moody tree, man. One season it'll like 1 year it'll the whole thing will just be full of apples, and you'll have more than you can use, and they're dropping off before the first day of fall or autumn, as our Aussie friends like to say.
It is autumn.
It is autumn. Okay. But then the next season it'll be one branch. It'll produce apples. The rest of it, nothing. It's They're also disease. They're also prone to disease spread from cedars. Those crabapple trees. Yeah, maybe that's what touched it off. It like got like some tree disease and freaked out and didn't produce apples. I don't know. You got me. Oh, look at that. Chat's broken. Motherfucker. What is it with
Oh, yeah. It's not. I didn't even. Huh.
There we go. See, what I wanted to do is that there's some generous patrons of Noir Bar that will come back and watch after the fact, or even people that were here will go back and they will put the start time. There'll be the opening screen, you know what I mean? And they'll put stream starts at 6 minutes 52 seconds or whatever, whenever the actual stream starts, and that's really handy. And they always get a bunch of likes for it, and justifiably. And when I can remember, I pin it as the top comment. But I've been thinking about going back inside and just clipping the beginning off, because you can do that in YouTube Editor, right? It's not actually that hard to do. But anytime you edit something, it destroys chat replay.
Yeah.
So the only chat that will remain is the embedded chat. And sometimes I forget, like I did just now, you switch it from top chat to live chat. There, now it's live chat. See? Got censored comments, and YouTube worried that you're going to see something that's going to turn you to satanic worship. Or
I love the chickens.
I'm sorry?
And you can see the lovely chickens.
Yes. Plenty of chickens.
Yes, chat chickens.
Oh, that's what Ryan meant. I've heard the word, but never knew what it was. Yeah, maybe it's a... No, I was about to say, maybe it's like a Midwest and Eastern U.S. thing. But that's not true, because they're all over Europe, too.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I've had cloves of garlic before, but just not straight up cloves. But that just might, because I've never really gone out of my way to look for them.
You know what's funny about that? When you first said that, I thought, oh yeah, cloves of garlic, right? That's the word. Well, that's just confusing. That's like something an Australian would have come up with. Call 15 different things the same word.
It's not that hard, okay?
I didn't say it was hard. I just said it was confusing.
It's not that confusing either.
Or
You just gotta specify.
Is apple butter a thing there? Any kind of fruit butters of any sort?
I think, yeah, lemon butter.
Lemon butter. So there's something you don't call jam. Interesting.
Because it has butter in it, Polly.
Oh, wait a minute. No. There's no butter in apple butter. I mean, I guess you could.
Well, it's a lie then.
Well,
It's a fucking lie. What are you doing, Polly?
I'm producing a spreadable spiced apple product.
It's not butter though. It doesn't have butter in it.
It's a nickname for. It's like crabapples don't have crabs.
It's a lie. It's a goddamn lie.
You're far too literalist about this. No. You put crabapple butter on your biscuits. There wasn't a lie in that sentence, okay?
That is all lies. That is a whole sentence of lies. Holy shit.
Oh man. Yeah, for those of you who've never had apple butter, I was surprised that it's. I mean, you can put butter in it, I guess, and there is apple flavored butter, but apple butter just means like it's like a really thick, spiced applesauce that's intended to be spread on biscuits and toast and things of the like, and it's fucking fantastic.
Scones.
Or yes, I'm sure you could spread it on scones too.
But your biscuits are just scones, Polly.
But we've been over this. They're not.
No, that's exactly what they are.
No, they're not, and we don't serve Fosters here. So you just accept it and get over it.
No.
So the you know what I hate? I was just looking at something here. When you read a story, a news article story, and none of the so-called journalists ever follow up on it. They're
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
you only get to hear the first day's events. Like, oh, you know what just popped into mind is a good example of that. Like, you can find it, but you got to search over hill and dale to find the results of it. And usually it's local, where the original story that was widely broadcast went national or global. You know, remember the FBI agent that was doing the stupid fucking dance and backflipped like a fucking moron and his gun fell out of his holster, his belt holster?
Oh my god. Yeah, vaguely, but yeah.
Yeah, and the gun bounces and dropped to the ground. You know what? Up until that point, you were dancing. You kind of acted a fool a little bit. You dropped your gun. Oh man, that's not good. You really need to think getting a retention holster. That should have been a teachable moment, a learning moment for you. And then you shot somebody in the leg. Right up until that point, it's like, ooh man, that's not good. That's wow. Like
Yeah.
that should have been more of a story about the holster than anything. You should have a holster that's tough to withdraw from, because you're running upstairs, you fall over, or you're acting a fool at a party. You don't want to go dropping your gun. And so it doesn't matter if it's a little tough to pull out, it's worth it, is what it comes down to, because otherwise you might drop your gun. It also dispels the Hollywood myth that any dropped gun automatically shoots the most innocent person in the room. You know, because that's also not true. Modern guns are actually pretty goddamn drop safe. But they're not moron safe. He goes to pick up the gun and puts his finger on the trigger and clasped his whole hand around the gun and pulled the trigger and shot somebody in the fucking leg. I had to go over hill and dale to find the consequences of that for the guy, which were nothing. He wasn't taken into custody. He was only taken in for questioning about the event, wasn't handcuffed. It's as bad as you would have wanted it to be. You know what I mean? Like nothing's going to happen to him. You know, the cynical take on it. That's exactly what did happen. Nothing. He wasn't criminally charged, etc., etc. The FBI public relations person, what's their name? Not correspondent, but like, you know, the FBI public relations person is like, we've looked into the matter and we're conducting an internal investigation and we've found no particular criminal activity and we have no further comment. End of story. Shut up. Stop talking about this. You know, that's so frustrating. Like, any citizen had done that, they'd be not only would they have lost their concealed carry permit, but they'd be looking at massive fines and a criminal record at minimum, if not jail. Not to mention the life-destroying civil suit that would follow. Now, I hope the guy who got shot in the leg sues, because he's obviously not getting justice through the courts. I'm not saying the guy should have been fired on the spot, but I don't know. Something.
It's just something.
Something that doesn't make it look like.
Yeah.
Well,
Dude shot a guy in the leg.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, man.
And the guy's been out of work ever since.
Accident. Even if it's by accident, it shouldn't have happened.
You ever gotten kicked in the shin or something knocked off your shin? You know that feeling? Like, just, it's so painful. Well, he got shot in the shin.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like, fucking hell, man. I don't know. So that's an example of, it bugs me how the story goes viral and it doesn't say much for clickbait news media, because the only reason the story went as wide as it did, I think, is because there was multiple accompanying videos to go along with it of him doing the flip, the gun falling, and then him shooting. When just one guy who had his camera phone rolling, it was 2 or 3 people. And so there's the news story, because it's amenable to clickbait news. You know, so was there anything clickbaity about the conclusion? No. So why would they talk about it?
Yep.
Then again, I do eat Branston pickle. Not sure what that was. I've heard Branston pickle. That sounds vaguely familiar, but I don't know what it is off the top of my head. Prospero, please elaborate. What is a Branston pickle? Evolved Potatoes here putting our stuff up in chat. Definitely appreciate that. I was just about to paste my Streamlabs link and entreat Far to put her merch link up in chat, but Evolved Potatoes comes swooping in and does it like the awesome bar patron that they are.
Nice. Thank you.
Oh, and Ebony's here. Hey, Ebony. And Rich is here, and Michael Hatfield's here, and Red Chaos. Pete's here. Hey, Pete. Hey, so here's the thing. I end up being an unintentional asshole a whole bunch of times. It's true. Most recently, I just realized that Pete DM'd me on Twitter like 4 days ago. I didn't even see it. And you know why? It's because I got a whole bunch of DMs, and it is highlighted that you haven't read this DM, but it's pushed off the first page because a whole fuck ton of people DM'd me at the same time. So until I scrolled down, I didn't see it. Pete was like, do you want me to... can I come on Noir Bar sometime? Or I'd like to come on as a guest to Noir Bar. Pete, you're welcome to come on sometime. That's totally fine, man. I wasn't trying to ignore your responses, if that's what you thought. I was being Polly. That's what happened.
You all know Polly is weird with DMs.
Well, you're a popular girl. You know what it's like. People DM you.
No.
Okay, that's called a humble brag.
Yeah, that is a bit of a humble brag, Polly.
No, what you did, not me.
You know, what?
A lot of these are fucking people telling me to, like, hoping that some bad fate's gonna befall me and death threats and the like. Okay, these are not people congratulating me on anything. Clear.
I hope your neighbor comes in and tells you the laundry shit. But stuff like that.
I wouldn't put up with that. If I'm doing my laundry,
sure?
Yes, quite. So far, and I have been watching antiquated television commercials, mostly focused around the 1970s. Then we've been dipping into the 80s, and then we went back and looked at the 60s. And a lot of, if the commercial, and these are all on YouTube, all of them. So if you're watching them,
yeah, you can go find these.
Oh yeah,
you can
absolutely.
go find these so easily.
Well, Evil One points out the difference. It's like, you're not a cute girl. Exactly. Looks matter.
Yeah, I still don't get that many DMs.
No, well, see, that's the humble brag in action again. Okay, no one believes you.
That's not really a humble brag.
Careful, Polydub. Popular girl has many names. Oh, well, if you want to look at it that way, I didn't say popular with the fraternities. I said just popular.
Yeah, what'd you do, a fucking keg stand?
No. Have you ever done a keg stand?
No, God,
no. Every time I did a keg stand, it's the most anticlimactic thing. Because you got a whole bunch of people around you going, it's so stupid. It's drinking upside down.
Yeah, no.
It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Like, there's no point to doing it. Like, yes, you can do it. You're not going to drink any faster. You want to do a novelty around drinking beer? Shotgun beers. That's cool. That has a point. I like shotgunning beers. That's cool. But keg stands? Man, that's some TV movie shit. There's no fucking point in it.
But anyway, back to those commercials.
Yes.
On point. Commercials.
Oh, right. I was just thinking, we were talking about commercials, but where was I going with them? Oh, as we kind of find out, obviously, the further you go back, people didn't have home recording devices. So the only way they're going to be able to put them up on YouTube is if they have a copy of them. So the ones, once you get into the 60s, shit gets rarefied. They're collections of commercials that the studio had, like the television studio or whoever.
Or it's some rare occasion where someone actually... Oh, God, they literally would sit like an 8 millimeters of film?
Right, 16 millimeter film that's split into 2 8 millimeters in reality, that kind of thing we were reading.
Yeah. They'd stick like one of those sort of recording things in front of the television. And then they'd get an audio recorder and record it at the same time. And because, it was a whole thing back then of everyone sitting in front of the TV watching the shows, people rarely did that. So there do exist these clips, but they're so rare. and it's so odd to see once you learn exactly how they did it.
Yeah, it it's mind blowing the level of quality of television back then. Well, lack of quality in broadcasting television back then. You know, we're gonna point a camera projector into another's camera lens and broadcast that directly over the air, which was like the shortest or the largest wave frequencies you can imagine. Everything was just shot to hell quality. I'm amazed that anyone could even detect that there were people on the screen in front of them. It's
Yeah.
just fucking wild. And now you got 4K. Quit bitching. You know what I mean?
But I think we're more going towards like what the whole people coming in and saying the laundry shit thing was about.
Well, see that there. So we did see a lot of commercials that managed to survive from the late '60s, and it seemed laundry detergents, of course, they're doing commercials for, and cigarettes, awesomely, and small cigars and stuff. A lot of Dutch Master cigar commercials,
Yeah,
well into the
those, oh
'70s.
god, my favorite one of just the Dutch Masters one was the one where it was like the Adams Family. It's sponsored by Dutch Masters,
Yeah.
and it's just a minute and a bit straight of these guys wearing these. Oh god, what would you even describe the costumes as being? Like
Well, they look like
the
Dutchmen.
olden times?
Yeah,
Yeah, like the
we.
olden times Dutchmen, and like they're just singing
So
about the
basically, they look
cigars
like,
and how like you'll smile
yeah,
and how they bring about smiles.
they looked like Mayflower style pilgrims to kind of get you close to what the Dutch of the time were dressed like in these commercials. You know, the hats and the buckles on the shoes and Jesus. And yeah, and they're saying there's no cigar like a Dutch master. You know that.
And it goes on for like a minute, like a whole minute, and it's like, holy shit! Ad time was cheap.
Well, oh yeah, Prospero says, I'm sensing tragedy afoot. My childhood is being defamed.
Um,
It is a
but we're making
non-stop
fun of it.
yeah, we're
We
making
are
fun
making fun of it.
we're making fun of everything and end up targeting each other because we were watching what 90s commercials yesterday
Oh god, yeah. Oh
and
fuck,
far as
that
like,
was.
doesn't this take you back, Polly? This is your childhood. I'm like, no, I don't remember this.
The funny thing about that is though that it's technically my childhood too because everything that was there came out way later here. So it's kind
Right.
of like the same like kids' toys and shit like that.
So the
So it's
ongoing
that really weird thing of like
the,
we've kind of seen the same shit growing up. The exact same shit if you really think about it. Just I probably remember it more.
the so one of the shticks that they ran in these commercials for detergent was this continuous
In the
thing where
you
the
gotta really phrase that in the 60s, not the 90s.
in the 60s, yeah, in the late 60s, the black and white commercials all seem to have the same shtick. Some lady is minding her own business, doing her laundry. Her neighbor comes along and starts insulting the quality of her laundry. Like, your colors are dingy, your whites aren't white enough. And saying the most hilarious things like, and as you know, whiter is better. And Far and I are like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Because you know they didn't really mean anything racist by it, but it's just nowadays it's like
but in
that, oh god.
that's the joke. I don't think anybody means anything racist by 98% of what they say. It's just it's current year and people are on a constant Nazi search. So all of a
Yeah,
sudden
exactly.
it all becomes problematic. It's like clearly they're talking about your white laundry becoming darkened over time because your fucking detergent sucks. Like, you know, they're not talking about white people, but welcome to current year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But oh my god, just all the ads because we're not talking about one or two of them. We're talking about like consistently just about every single laundry detergent ad we saw. The only ones that didn't do this sort of thing were like the ones where it's like really boring. We were kind of going, "Oh, fuck off. We don't want to see this anymore." And it's just like calm music while they're on a beach or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the only ones where it was just not even worth watching
The
at all.
I so poor Far here. For those of you who don't know. Oh, and Far's fellow Australians. Um, you grew up in the 90s, man. You're old. I'm 33. I don't know how old you thought I was, but that's um has no knowledge of Hawaiian punch, which
No,
is
well, I don't know if that's just because maybe they have it in the eastern states. I don't fucking know.
yeah. Well,
And, like, there's a lot of shit they have that we don't, so it's kind of like,
let's ask our Eastern state
eh.
bar patrons. I mean, y'all ever heard of Hawaiian punch? It's Kool-Aid, but in like tropical flavors. Comes in like premixed cans. You can also get it as a drink powder that you make yourself. Is that a thing? I mean, it's not. Don't get me wrong. It's not terribly. I don't think it ever was terribly popular. I don't know. I wasn't around in the 70s.
Well, you never know the amount of ads.
Yeah.
The amount of ads they had, like, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, so yeah. Anyway, we ended up getting irate over this. Not gonna lie, watching this fucking bitch come over again. She breaks into her home, like we're like,
Yeah, she basically does.
like it's not just we go. She approaches when she's putting laundry on the line, so she's putting laundry outside on the line to dry.
Yeah, that was
and
the first one.
yeah, and she'll lean over the fence and go, you know, your laundry isn't very good. And this woman is like so incomprehensibly nice about the whole thing. It would be, you know, anyone normally would just go, thanks. What do you need? You know, like be passive aggressive, get out of my fucking yard kind of thing. At one point, the bitch actually breaks in her house. She's in her laundry room doing her fucking laundry.
No, these are different things. No, these are different people though. Like this is just like different scenarios. So it's all these different housewives having like the bitchy neighbor come in. But the funniest one was the one at the end that inspired Becky.
Right. Yeah, and Far gave them all names.
Yeah, because well, no, the funniest one was that one because it was just like she's doing her fucking laundry. It's like, oh yeah, she said that I did it terribly. Like I'm gonna go get that, Mrs. Jones. And then Mrs. Jones just appears in her house, like, hey, do you know what you need? It's like, what the fuck is happening?
Well, okay. You didn't say okay, appeared, yeah, I guess that's one great way of describing it. Barged in without knocking and suddenly started judging everything within her field of view is another statement. Like, I mean, fuck off, bitch. Get out of my house. What are you doing here? If I was doing my laundry, my neighbor walked in and said, you know, those whites are pretty dark. Oh, man. It's like, I'd have some words. And I wouldn't be happy about it. Let's see.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's inspired this whole story with me of like this 60s housewife called Becky who just gets sick of all her nosy neighbors telling her laundry is shit. She just goes out and kills them all.
So far as contemplating an animated series.
Not an animated series. I'm not an animator.
Well, what would you call it?
I just call it fucking Becky. That's it. Just Becky.
You just call
straight
it Becky.
up.
No, I mean, what would you call it as a description? Like not animated, like in the sense that motion.
Like
Fair enough.
I don't even know. Like one part of me is tempted to do it as just like a short little comic series. The other part of me is kind of tempted to like go back, get those ads, get the audio from them, just do like an animatic style, like I did with the you versus Coach Red Pill thing.
Right.
But it's just like, like, because the other thing is about those ads though, they all have a musical component to them. Like
well,
they were all musicals in some way. Like
it's
after
true.
like it was like, oh, I'm gonna get that Mrs. Jones. Afterwards, like after they did a little bit of talking back and forth, they would go and sing a whole song about it. And it's like that was originally what it was. It's like, you know, I have a feeling you could do a whole musical just based on like a concept of Becky and use those songs, and you could have a whole musical worth of songs. I am convinced that this is a possibility because holy shit. There were, like, we're not talking about one or two of them, there was like a whole bunch of them. So many of them.
So there's just looking in chat, and there's a bunch of people that would be a redo of Serial Mom. Never heard of it. Is that a?
Yeah, I've never heard of that either.
That sounds like, you know, Adventures in Babysitting. There's another movie I've never seen that everybody references constantly as a must-have or must-watch.
Well, if everyone's saying whatever that film you saw recently was, it's like that's a must see. I wouldn't trust them on that.
Oh yeah, fucking Saturday Night Fever. Jesus Christ. So these,
the rape film.
yeah. So these drunken, drug-fueled, down-and-out losers in Brooklyn, New York, in the 1970s, who got dancing on Friday night and Saturday night, and rape in their spare time, and are generally assholes to everybody they know, and harass the local homosexuals walking down the sidewalk. That's what that film is. I was, because I've only ever seen the dance clips. I was telling, this is what I was saying before. I'm watching it because we saw an ad for, we were watching a set of commercials from 1977. And there's an ad for, you know, the new hit of 1977, the funky disco fever, blah, blah, blah. And it shows all the clips that I've seen my whole life of John Travolta and his iconic white disco suit doing all of his moves and stuff. And I'm like, holy shit, it's an ad for Saturday Night Fever in theaters. Look at this shit. And the, oh, look at that. Okay. That picture to load there.
Yeah. Why have you got the creepy teeth parrot there?
That's an owl. That's an owl.
And it looks like a parrot.
It's an owl. He's smiling. No. He's happy. What's the problem?
But nothing about that looks happy.
Well,
looks deranged.
Someone could tip the bartender and I could shoo him out of the bar for you. Y'all know how this works. It's fine. Parrot's just sitting there minding his own business, smiling away. What's the problem?
Everything about it.
Manic is, oh God, what is that? It's we'll just have him sit there. I mean, it's fine. So, like I said, someone could slip the bartender a tip, and maybe I could shoo him under the bar for you. I don't know. Doesn't seem to be bothering anyone, though.
I'm not giving you money, Polly.
No, that's fine. I didn't say you. The Joker got an owl, right?
Fuck, man. It's perfect match. Jesus Christ.
So yeah, there was all my life I've seen clips of John Travolta doing all these dance moves and the songs that came from it and so forth. So I decided to get a copy of the movie and watch it. Holy shit, was there a lot more drug and cussing and rape. I wasn't even aware that it was an R-rated film. You know what I mean? But like, it's like nobody in that film, with the exception of Annette, is a likable character. Everybody is thoroughly dislikable, including Travolta. He's such a bastard to everybody, including his dancing partner, who he tries raping near the end of the film.
God. Yeah, and wasn't that whole film based on like an article that ended up being fake as well?
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. I went looking because I wanted to see what the reviews at the time were saying, because I came up with this idea. Maybe it's because I've heard of it about all the dancing. That's what everybody remembers about it, because that was the thing. There was no disco dancing film like that before. And yeah, the dancing scenes and the choreography, John Travolta must have worked his ass off getting all that dance stuff down, because it's great. It looks, I mean, it's very disco-y, so kind of cheesy, but it's clearly meant to be a centerpiece of the movie. Maybe they just didn't focus on all this really bizarre, dark drama going on in it. And so I want to see what the reviews at the time say. Turns out it's all based on a New York Magazine article that the guy admitted 20 years later he completely fabricated the whole thing.
Yeah, and it was so bizarre, the story it told of why he even fabricated it. It was like, okay, so I was like from England, right? And I was a recent immigrant, and I was working at this newspaper, and I wanted to do a story on disco. So I basically bullied my editor into letting me do it, even though I had no idea what disco even really was.
Right.
So I went and made up a bunch of shit about it. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah. Guy from the UK hadn't even been in the US long and somehow convinces his editor to let him write a piece on.
I think he bullied him. I absolutely think he just fucking bullied him. To be perfectly honest, because it's like,
Well, convinced him with words or
Dude.
convinced him with his fists that uh, oh, let me go write an article about the New York disco scene and that subculture and the things that go on in and around it. And somehow his editor was like the guy who just arrived in the country. He doesn't even like gets lost and needs a map to drive around New York. It's like, yeah, sure, man, go write about a subculture you have no idea about.
Yeah, it's just holy shit. Like that whole backstory, it's like this movie should never have been made. It should never have been made. Just because just holy shit. That's all I've got to say. That's all I gotta say.
The I don't know. I was waiting for him to do something redemptive, I guess.
Yeah, no, I know because I could hear you watching the whole movie.
Yeah.
Like the entire time you were watching it and you're just like making comment after comment, and the more you're describing of it, the more I'm like, I don't think I ever want to see this. I think I'm good knowing the poly version of events.
Right.
Fuck this.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. Maybe it's because I was expecting a virtual musical. That's more or less what I expected it to be, that they would be breaking out into song and dance in the middle of the streets because they just so much loved disco. But
Yeah, nah, rape.
yeah, no, it's a rape fest. Shrouded Angel over on the Streamlabs, thank you very much, says, make that owl picture bigger. Well,
No,
what?
no.
Oh,
You know, Wolf Potatoes already stopped putting your link up as well, right?
yeah, I just saw that. I just was looking at chat here. Yeah, I'm getting. It's just, why is everybody so angry at this poor owl? That's just he's
you
trying.
know exactly why.
He's trying to make friends.
No, he's not. That is a demonic thing from hell, and you know it. That is a cursed image.
And I got Manic, one of my strongest supporters and most loyal viewers. Nobody reward Polly for Sinatra's gimmick. Sinatra lifted that gimmick off of who was that? I forget. I'll pop out within a minute. That is gimmick. Fine. And it's not a gimmick. It's an owl that happened to flap into the bar and is trying to make friends and apparently encountered a bunch of surly drunks. My God.
Yeah, oh my God. Fucking hell.
Mind his own business. Oh God, remember this? There's a lot unfriendlier things you could find in a bar. I'm just looking in this folder here.
Oh my God, don't put up any more of these, please.
Manic's bad, Polly.
That is the appropriate response here.
I'm surprised that Ex-Bubba Hotep, also on the Streamlabs, says, I second that request to make the owl bigger. I don't know.
No.
There seems to be a disagreement in chat with what they want. Some people are enjoying the adorable owl. Other people find it bothersome.
It's not adorable. Holy shit.
Johnny Bonsaga says, what's wrong with a bunch of surly drunks? Nothing. That's why we got Corn Pop here. Our trusty doorman. He'll make sure that anybody who gets out of line will be taken care of. It's fine.
What, is this Corn Pop here? Is that what this weird bird is called? Did you let the... Why'd you let him in the bar? He's still doing his job.
But the number one nowhere. That's a great name for it. It's a Cheshire Polly. It's a Cheshire Ollie. Fuck, I can't talk. A Cheshire owl. Jesus.
It's a Cheshire Owlie.
So I found my way over to a channel today called Knowing Better. And the entire point, Asian hippie, duplicate it, then enlarge it. You want multiples? Well, I don't know if he has any buddies. It was just the lone owl who flapped in here, right?
Jesus Christ.
What was I saying? Oh, YouTube channel that I found called Knowing Better. And it's, Adam Ruins Everything?
Yeah.
Imagine if Adam Ruins Everything was honest.
Oh boy.
And didn't have a political agenda.
Huh.
Yeah. That would be, because like Adam Ruins Everything even comes up from time to time in his videos. He did a video called In Defense of Columbus, like Christopher Columbus. And a number of people on YouTube was like, did you know that Christopher Columbus was a genocidal maniac? It's like, I knew that he wasn't a genocidal maniac. If you want to, and his video's worth checking out on that. He certainly doesn't call Christopher Columbus, he doesn't make him out to be a hero, but the idea that he was, out to murder and enslave and did murder and enslave is simply not true. He led me to a fact that I wasn't aware of, the oft-used quote that these natives would be easily subjugated and would make good servants. And it's like, doesn't that sound like a slave master to you? And it's like, yeah, but why don't you write what comes before that and after that and check with multiple English translations instead of just going with the most usable, worst possible interpretation of the translation from Spanish? Because he certainly wasn't writing in English, right? And it doesn't read like that at all. It's interesting to watch his whole 22-minute video again called Knowing Better. It's in defense of Christopher Columbus. He makes an interesting case for it. It's this guy was so stupid he thought the world was flat, and it's like, no, ancient Greeks didn't think the world was flat. What the fuck are you talking about? It's some people today think the world is flat. Some people back then thought it was flat. What's your point? People who were in the know knew. Well, yeah, they're all mostly harmless people, and Christopher Columbus was very much aware that the world was not flat. In that Adam Ruins Everything video, it's like, did you know that you blah blah blah? Like, because God, that guy's such a fucking douchebag. I mean, when it's the name of your show is Adam Ruins Everything, so you're going to look into subject after subject and interpret it in the worst way possible for the sake of entertainment, because you're out to ruin everything. It's not about truth or facts. It's about spin to ruin everything. You say it right in your video title and people are supposed to take you seriously. Like, no wonder people think of you as a fucking hipster douchebag. Hipster SJW douchebag at that. Because he never talks about the centuries of murderous war in China. He never talks about the civil war in China that they were putting down for 50 years with literally millions dead? Yeah. They never talked about the great leap forward of the communists in China that, killed millions more of their own people. Like slaughter after slaughter after slaughter. Like, Adam, why don't you ruin the image of glorious China for us? Oh, I don't want to do that,
But Polly, it's China.
And so therefore
everyone wants to suck China's dick.
Oh yeah, well, you're not wrong. They do. Oh, and Pete donated over there on the super chat $5. Thank you very much, Pete. But with no message, and this is why I need a soundboard to play something for, especially our Aussie friends who donate with no commentary. I always feel bad. I feel like I should have like a line or something I say then, and
want a good deal?
Yeah,
like that.
Well, no, I should have like a I don't know, a track that people love to hear, or a funny clip that people love to see, something like that to play when people don't have a comment. Because not everybody wants to write something clever or whatever. They just want to tip the bartender. And that's totally cool and very seriously appreciated. So it sucks when I don't have anything to do.
Oh, we still sell unleaded gas.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We still sell leaded gas. I mean, like something like that.
That's something I meant to ask my dad about. What the hell is the deal with leaded and unleaded gas? I mean, okay, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's gas that has lead and gas that doesn't. But why was there ever lead and gas to begin with? I mean, I don't know much about fuel chemistry. So
Well,
was it just in there
it
as a
probably
byproduct of the production that they didn't bother to remove it,
probably.
or was it added for some particular purpose? I don't know. Ryan Walters is,
We have a lot of questions.
yeah,
Sorry.
yeah. I got a lot of questions for people who were adolescents or adults during the 70s. That's I think can explain what was going on. I mean, Adam Walters, or Ryan Walters rather, says Adam is actually China's great and treats their people really well. Yeah.
Yes, yes. I actually expect him to say something like that at some point. But yeah, the amount of commercials we've watched, because this hasn't just been a couple of days that we've been doing this. No, 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 no. This has been going on for a couple of weeks now.
Yeah.
Not necessarily every day, but most of them, yeah. We've spent them watching this shit. So at this point, we've got like kind of an idea, I guess, of what each time period is going to have. I guess for the types of themes, I guess you could call it.
Oh,
Like the 90s, it's very obvious that it's going to be like so overhyped shit that it makes you feel exhausted watching it. The 70s and late 60s are going to have like this weird yellowy orange haze about them.
well,
And
the
the 80s is just space. It's
over on
just space everywhere.
Streamlabs, Manic for $5. Thank you very much, Manic. Says, I was planning on giving you monies anyway. Smiley, give the owl a little head scratch. I did. He shrunk down a little. Fine. I I think owls are actually really cool, but the point, maybe I'm just a wet blanket, but I can't have a pet that's stupid. Like, I think people need to come to terms with it. Most birds are just not very bright. They're not. You want pets that are mammals, basically. In my mind. Like, if you think that bird likes you, that bird's barely aware you exist. They're not very bright. You know what I mean? I can understand having a turtle or like fish because they're not very bright either, but you don't expect any kind of relationship, friendship with a fish, if that makes sense, like you would with a cat or a dog. You understand what I mean? Or
Yeah.
or a ferret or a rabbit or whatever. Those all make sense to me as pets because they will know you and become accustomed to you and so forth. That bird, Jesus Christ, if its wings weren't clipped the minute you opened the window, it'd fly away because it's not trying to get away from you. It just, like I said, it's barely where you exist, man. I think people attribute a lot, but I'd like to because owls are very cool the way they turn their heads and they look awesome. Hell yeah, but I don't want to
Yeah,
die.
couldn't you say the same about dogs though? In a way of like you leave the fence open and like the dog's gonna run out.
Well, you have a point there, I guess. Why do dogs run away? Like they're accustomed to you, they know you, they miss you when you're gone, they
Yeah,
get
well, I
excited
think
when you
it's
return.
that's the thing. Like, I agree, birds are fucking dumb, but at the same time, I think it's the same kind of deal as with a dog in a lot of cases.
I,
Like, the bird does like you, but at the same time, it's gonna be like, "Oh, look, it's an open window. Oh, look, it's new places. I'm gonna just fly out and, yeah, it'll be all fine. Oh shit, where am I now?" Like, I think it's the same thing.
right.
Because, yeah, there are, like, as a general rule, yeah, birds are pretty fucking dumb. Like, holy shit, they are pretty fucking dumb. But there are some birds where it's like, no, those are pretty smart. Like crows, the fact that they will recognize you if you fuck with them.
Um, I didn't
They
know
do.
that. Is that right?
No, they do recognize you. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. So I don't fuck with crows.
Well, okay, so Crack says, having trained in falconry, I have experienced friendship with a bird, a western barn owl. Okay. I mean, that's good
Yeah, that's the
news.
thing. It's like
That's a
certain birds, yeah, they're smart. But as a whole, there's a lot of fucking dumb ass birds.
I, I mean, what are the little chirpy birds, parakeets or whatever? I
Yeah,
had a friend.
parakeets.
Yeah, I had a friend who had a couple of parakeets. I think they were parakeets, and they're little chirpy birds. And I'm like, the window's open, they're gonna fly away. He's like, the wings are clipped. And I'm like, oh. He's like, so they can flutter a little bit, but they won't be able to like truly take flight. I'm like, okay. I I don't know. I admit they're very cool looking. I don't think you'll get the pet. Okay, evolved potato over on the Streamlabs. Please get rid of the bloody bird. And for the meaningless, the, the messageless donation from the Aussies, I really like "Home Among the Gum Trees" tune. What? All right, I'll get rid of the shrieking. Oh God, and he's gone. There we go.
Good.
Shoot him out of the bar.
Finally, goddamn.
Thank you very much, Evolved Potatoes. Very generous. Now, this song that Evolved Potato mentioned, "Home Among the Gum Trees." You know this song, Far?
Yeah, it's a well-known song.
Is it a Australian song? Is it a patriotic themed song?
Um,
Is it public
one
domain?
moment. I don't actually know. No, I don't know if it is. It might be. I have no idea though. So just went to look it up that because I know like the vague lyrics of it, I guess you could say, but it's just the basic description it gives is it is a popular Australian song written in 1974.
Okay.
Okay, so I don't actually know if that's within public domain.
I no.
Probably not.
That's pretty goddamn recent.
Yeah.
I think people are surprised to find out that, like, you know that song "White Christmas." I'm dreaming of a white.
Yeah.
Okay, that song is still copywritten by Bing Crosby's family. He didn't write it; he had it written for him, but then published under, his publication house, and the money is still going to a great grandchildren or grandchildren of Bing Crosby. That blows my mind every time that song's played, really, or included on a Christmas collection or whatever the fuck. Blows my mind. It's okay. I'll ask the dumb question. Are there a lot of gum trees in Australia?
Yes, Polly.
Well, I don't know. I'm asking. See, when somebody's willing to ask the dumb question, you don't rub it in. God damn.
Oh god.
I
Yeah, I don't know if it's actually in public domain or not. Everyone uses it, but at the same time, it's kind of like, don't know if that's legal.
Yeah, if you just take a small clip of it and they'll completely fine. I should find some.
Yeah, if you take the chorus of it, I think it'll be fine
I should
because
find.
everyone uses the chorus.
Well, surely there's some hard rock punk cover of it out there. Wouldn't that be more in tune with
Oh, probably.
the majority of the tastes in the bar anyway? Well, speaking of the majority of the tastes, why don't I have music playing? Jesus Christ, I'm paying the band. Fuck, start playing, you
Oh,
assholes.
you weren't playing music? Holy shit.
Yeah. And I paid the band too. Those motherfuckers are just sitting there drinking. Lazy bastards. There they go.
Huh. So I'm looking at lyrics for this, and for some reason, one of the chorus bits, and it's only one of the chorus bits, it changes one of the lines to a bong or to a kangaroo.
A bong or two.
Yeah, like okay. This friendly little song suddenly turned rather druggy,
What's
I
what I'm saying?
guess.
It sounds like a party song. Shouldn't it be
It shouldn't be.
hard rock punk themed?
Yeah, well, if they're using that lyric, then maybe, but Jesus Christ.
Jordan 250 the band was freaked out by the owl. Oh shit. Here, you want me to show you guys the creepiest thing I got in my
No.
in my cringe folder?
Please, no.
There it is. Look at that thing. Oh god, huh?
Gonna have to wait a bit until people see that.
Sure.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't know what the fuck that thing is. I have no... Isn't that fucking awful?
yeah. That is absolutely awful.
Yeah,
Really? Why?
I assume that that's got to be some creature that somebody Johnny Bond saw because I dated her once.
No, I think I know what it is, though. I think I know who made it. I just can't remember the name of the person for the life of me. But it's an actual artist, I think. It's an actual sculpture.
Is it?
It looks like their work. It looks like their work.
It's Lena Dunham. It's just... I thought it was a creature made for some fucking movie at some point, like some nightmare sequence or something. Every time I see that picture, I'm just like, Christ, yeah. Let's go back to the regular screen.
I found a remix for Home Among the Gum Trees.
Did you really?
Yeah. Oh my god, this is such a party mix. Loving it.
Over on the Streamlabs. So no underbuns. Thank you for the $5. Says, bring back the fucking bird, Polly.
There we go. For anyone that's interested in that. Holy shit. It's so weird to listen to this. It doesn't sound right.
Yeah, I still haven't rewired my virtual audio cable program.
Yeah.
So if I start playing it, y'all will hear it. Like it'll come out over the desktop audio, even though it's not supposed to. I gotta go into the settings again and figure out what the hell I did wrong there.
Yeah.
That's weird. I followed the instruction manual too. There's got to be some kind of crossover at some point through the drivers that I'm using.
Wait, you actually read the instructions?
Yeah, I did.
Holy shit, Polly.
Don't mock me. Not all of us have hazmat suits every time we start using household cleaners.
Well, they certainly didn't in the 70s. Fucking just reach their hand into the bleach.
Oh man, that's another thing that we noticed, chat. When people were dealing with cleaning solvents and chemicals and stuff, and it's like, look how stained this sink is. Here, take this household cleaner that contains 45 different caustic chemicals, and go ahead with your bare hands. Jesus Christ, don't touch that stuff. No wonder they kept advertising moisturizers so much. It stripped your skin right down to the blood vessels. Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, you should be using gloves with that. No, just reach your hand right in. But, okay. What the... Jesus.
Zombie Teddy asks, does someone have a radio or TV on in the background? No, that is the band that I have paid. They do a wonderful long-form medley of jazz and blues tracks. It's thematic. We are.
They do not play Home Amongst Gum Trees.
No, they don't.
In any form.
They've never heard it. It's just...
Oh dear Lord. But yeah, so with those ads though, we noticed so many patterns that we kind of made a drinking game out of this.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you have the list?
Yeah, we haven't actually played it, but it exists. Just, oh god. Should I read this list out? There's like, what, 14, 15 items on there?
Holy shit, Evil One just bought a fucking mega round of shots. Look at that.
Just in time for the commercial drinking game. Yay!
Yeah, no kidding. Jesus. How many is that?
It's enough for this game. No, it's not even enough, actually. Thinking about it, God.
Oh,
should I read this out?
Zombie Teddy says, I'm hearing talking that's not you or Far. It sounded like a news channel. I don't know what that was then. Wild.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so the drinking game, Far.
Yeah. Alright, so the list goes as follows. Misplaced patriotism.
Yes.
Yeah, which is literally when we noticed this thing of like when they couldn't really tell you why their product was good, they'd just be like, well, America, you should be using us because we want to do the best by you.
Yeah.
Like shit like that. Like misplaced patriotism.
Like a lot of excuse me, a lot of tire commercials in the 70s. There's only so many things you can say about tires. So every one of them just like, America and its open roads. And it cuts to a shot of a bald eagle soaring majestically through the air. Nothing says America like driving on open highways. Again, American eagle flying through the air. It's like, that's why you want steel radio belted tires that blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yeah, that's what we mean by misplaced patriotism. When you can't think of anything else to say, bring up the flag. And it's like, man, I don't really believe you guys are patriotic. I just think you got a lack of advertising imagination.
Yeah. Well, they didn't have enough budget for skydiving, you know? They're not the chainsaw companies.
Oh, like really quick. Ebony says, isn't this the 11th Noir Bar? It's really possible, Ebony. I was thinking about that when I was naming the stream, and I'm like, what is this, the 10th one? I don't know. I got to go back and look. It very easily could be the 11th. But yeah, there was something going on in the mid 70s where apparently everybody needed chainsaws, that they were in high demand. Because holy shit, were there a lot of television advertisements for chainsaws. Every size. Big, huge industrial ones to take out an entire grove of trees. Little tiny ones just to take limbs off trees. Like, just wild. And it's like, it's so small and light, even the little woman can use it. And it'll show some lady in a dress cutting a fucking tree down.
Yeah, show fucking Becky cutting a tree down. But, yeah, then there was the ones where it's like, we're gonna, like, use a chainsaw and a whole bunch of tools while we're skydiving.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are the best ones, though, because they're so bizarre. I'm like, why do you need to prove this?
They've got...
why?
It's clear with the advent of what we figured is that advertising time advertising blocks during commercial breaks must have been really cheap during this time, because you had a lot of local companies that were just like, they've got
like Crazy Eddie,
like Crazy fucking Eddie. It's a perfect example. Crazy Eddie only has one store in New York, right? And I think it was in the Bronx, I believe.
Something like that.
But he had the money to advertise on television that was being broadcast across the entire tri-state area. You know what I mean? So advertising time at that time must have been cheap. It's just Eddie looking into the camera going, I'm Crazy Eddie, and come down and take advantage of my insanity and buy these items because I don't know what they should cost.
And then there was the second one where he managed to find 5 guys to harmonize in a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just singing about the prices.
And I believe it was in a bathroom because they had access to a bathroom. They probably,
Well, probably. It was probably one of the only places where it actually sounded okay and that they could actually get access to film. So they're just like, yeah, fuck it, we'll use the bathroom.
I think they were trying to go for the high school harmonizing quartet of guys. And
I think they definitely were.
But I don't think it was on purpose. It's just, where are we going to shoot? Well, if we shoot outside, we don't have good microphones. No one will be able to hear you. We've got a shit camera here. And it's like, well, how about a bathroom? It'll look like you're in a high school bathroom. So they just went to like wherever there was a public bathroom and sang in there and then got the hell out.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if that was the case.
But you see commercials now, the price for commercial time must have jumped because it has to be franchises that are, you know, that are across multiple states or hotels or credit cards.
Unless it's like a country station here, like Win or GWN or something, then you start to see the local commercials. But otherwise, yeah, you don't see that so much on the big stations anymore.
So when commercial time was cheap back in the day, they want to stand out. And it's like everybody discovered skydiving at the same time. So they're advertising a fucking power drill, a cordless power drill. And the guy's like, he jumps out of an airplane with a power drill and a fucking piece of a 2x4. And he's like, look, it's cordless. I can even drill while skydiving. And it's, why? And it's just...
Why would you want to do that? Look, I can even drill into my own head while skydiving. Like, it's the same logic. Why would you want to do that? Holy shit.
Because we have two guys, we can get them to go on a skydiving lesson, and one of them will have a camera, and the other one will have the 2x4 and the drill.
Oh my god. Can you imagine being the people doing that, though, and being like, okay, we have one shot, don't fuck this up, guys.
Yeah.
Don't fuck it up. And then just like, they've just got a power drill and like this bit of wood, and they're like, we're gonna do this. We're gonna drill this in the air, guys. It's gonna be so sick. Fucking hell.
Saying commercial time used to be like $1,500 a month. Yeah, I guess I never really considered it on a monthly basis. I didn't really think about it, but I guess I was just assuming that it was on a number of commercials at a given time. Like, you know, if you want to buy this time slot, it's more expensive than this time slot. I was hoping of coming across late night television. And what we found is LA television, or Southern California television more specifically.
It's the most depressing.
Yeah, it's depressing and boring. Because all their ads are for like the Los Angeles County area.
As long as it's the 70s, it's fun. But like in the 80s especially, that place just gets fucking depressing. Because it's when like they start doing all the PSAs for like AIDS and drugs and stuff, and I guess they're really focused on that area for that shit.
Right. And
so you're like you can only see so many ads about AIDS before it just starts being depressing, you know?
Right.
Like the first few times it's kind of funny. It's like, AIDS. But then it's just kind of like, oh god.
But
can we not have an ad about AIDS, please?
Like if you look up these the various channels on YouTube that publish all these old commercials.
Yeah, like Panoni 8's pretty good for it, although
he has a number of channels. James Panoni.
Yeah, he has a whole fucking network of channels, and I can't. The only thing we can think of as to why he has that is because of pre-adpocalypse, of like getting all this multiple ad revenue from all these different channels.
I agree, exactly. I mean, can you imagine that? You're this guy, Panoni, right? Assuming that's his real name. Think about this, chat. You got a whole bunch of old VHS tapes from the 70s. They're either yours or your parents or whatever the fuck. And it's all old shows. Like he'll have whatever the fuck recorded. Soap operas recorded. He'll have a lot of football games. A lot of movies of the week is a huge one. Someone will have recorded the Robin Hood with Errol Flynn was one of them, right? And he will go back and edit out the actual movie and just leave the commercials there and upload it to YouTube. No copyright problems, right? And nobody wants to see that movie because they can go see a higher quality version of it on Netflix or whatever the fuck streaming service. But what they can't see is these ancient commercials. He's getting like between 60,000 and several 100,000 views on each one of these fucking videos. Like, can you imagine how much money this guy was bringing in just off of old VHS tapes before the apocalypse?
It would have had to have been ridiculous.
I mean, you brilliant bastard. You brilliant fuck.
Yeah, like holy shit. And also, we only just got to like the first thing on this drinking game list, by the way. So, because the second one is the invasive / judgmental neighbors.
Yeah, and we talked about that. Neighbor coming over and telling you that your laundry ain't shit or your floors aren't shiny enough.
Becky's whole backstory, you know?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Then the airline's not showing prices, which is specifically the 70s.
Yeah. They would talk about.
Yeah, because after that,
We've got the
because after
cheapest
that,
prices.
they started showing it.
Yeah, in the
Like
70s.
in the 80s and stuff?
They didn't want to tell you the prices, and these were like for a given area. They would say from X to Y, from like New York to Miami. It's like, we've got the lowest prices around, which are, and the reason why I noticed is because I wanted to know how much an airline ticket cost at that time. And they're not saying. And when eventually you did find it, when you get into the 80s and they start naming prices, chat, make you want to vomit. LA to fucking Miami, $175 round trip. Oh my God. And like, yeah, okay, I get it.
It was like, oh my
inflation.
God. Like,
but even
inflation,
even when you calculate with inflation, holy shit, are flights expensive now by comparison. Good Lord.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, and then there's the hidden camera paid actor.
Yeah. A lot of laundry bullshit
ones,
with that.
Yeah, laundry again.
It's like we asked Miss Ferguson from Hempstead, New York, if she'd ever give up her tide, and it's supposedly a hidden camera that she doesn't know that she's on camera, but she's a really horrible actor, so it's so obvious that she's just paid to be in this commercial. She's like, I will never give up my Tide. It is the very best laundry detergent ever. And these ads were everywhere.
Yeah, it was like, oh my God, like, you can tell what they're trying to do. And some of them are kind of fine, but you already know because like how they're filming it, it's really super fake.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even if they were good actors, just the way they're filming it, like just from the one angle, and like sometimes they actually zoom in and all that sort of stuff. Like, fun fact, okay, if you're watching something and it's supposed to be a hidden camera, if they can zoom in on different people with different cameras,
mm-hmm.
and it looks like good quality, and it's not like it's like hidden in the wall or some shit, it's fake. Just saying, it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, you don't, like, that's not even being skeptical about it. It's just what it is.
If you've ever seen security camera footage, you know what hidden camera footage looks like. It's
exactly.
It's fixed in a
like,
given
watch
place.
Big Brother for that shit.
Yeah, it's
like, seriously, Big Brother.
It's designed to get as wide of an angle as possible to catch as many things with one camera. So you don't ever get a nice, tight, close-in view of one thing with perfect focus and perfect lighting. I mean, it's kind of a dead giveaway.
Yeah, it's, oh God. And then the next one was nappies and / diaper shape. So apparently they did not think, maybe it should not be shaped like a rectangle.
Yeah, did you guys know in chat that before the 1980s, apparently all diapers were rectangles? They weren't shaped like diapers? I don't believe this personally. I think they're just lying. And like, our diapers are shaped in this way that's actually shaped like your baby. And it's like, I think they all were. Even, like, you ever seen, like, if you ever watched, like, the Flintstones or whatever, when they'll do, like, an old fabric diaper where you take a square piece of fabric and then you fold the cloth like so. That's already shaped like the baby to fit between the baby's legs. Like, you know what I mean? Don't tell me that they just cut fucking absorbent pieces of throwaway material into rectangles and called them diapers. I'm not buying it.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck was going on with that, but oh God. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if they were just doing it in rectangles, to be perfectly honest.
Maybe
just to be, like, if it was cloth, like, you can kind of understand that, because it's like, you're going to be adjusting it anyway.
Maybe the cheap
kind of
ones.
Understand that, but yeah, I mean, it's just one of those weird things, like the toothpaste thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, remember the toothpaste thing where we're like, what the fuck did toothpaste taste like before they added mint into it? What the fuck?
Yeah, did you guys know that there was a regular flavored toothpaste at one point in history? I thought it was always mint flavored or something flavored. Apparently it was just
but apparently it tastes
flavored.
like shit.
Yeah, it was chalk flavored.
Yeah, because it was so excited. It's like, we put mint in our toothpaste now. Oh my God!
I mean, Dog Backwards says
it's so hard.
It's a triangle. Yeah, I mean, when you fold it like that, it's a triangle. But the idea being is that, it's up and then back and then around the baby's waist. But it's not a rectangle, because otherwise, why didn't you just
what we're talking about? No, what we're talking about though is when they're showing like the whole nappy shape.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not what you fold it into, but like they'll have these up as like comparison shots of like their nappy, which is like hourglass shaped, And then the competitor's nappy that they're calling the shit out of, that's just a complete rectangle.
And that's the part that I'm not buying. It's like when they'll show you the two glasses, and it's like this glass was washed with the leading dishwasher detergent, and then here's ours, and it's like the leading dishwasher detergent looks like shit. It looks like it's like been stained with dry milk. It's so foggy. And then the other one's like crystal clear. And it's like, yeah, I don't fucking believe you, man. You filthified that one glass. I know it.
Well, here's Zombie Teddy actually telling us what the toothpaste actually tasted like. Because holy shit. Like, you would not believe how hard it is to find anything about this online. Just a simple thing of, the simple question of, what did it taste like? You can find the dates of when they started adding mint and all the other various things they put into toothpaste now into the toothpaste, but you can't actually find anyone describing how it tasted.
Well, according to Cynic, it tasted like bicarb and broken dreams.
I would believe that. Jesus Christ. But, oh god, but it's one of those weird things of, like, I guess no one sees the value of, like, recording that anywhere. You know, like, I mean, admittedly, it is a very weird thing to write down somewhere. Like, oh, hey, it tastes like shit. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of like, so this is probably going to be, like, lost to history then. Cool. Yeah, then there's, on this list, shampoo with no conditioner. That was horrifying.
Yep.
That's like the... No, because they would advertise the shampoo, but they would never mention anything about the conditioner until maybe... I want to say mid to late 80s at the earliest.
I'd go with that.
Yeah. Yeah, like something weird like that, and they just use your shampoo. That's not good. No wonder you all have dandruff.
Well, the thing that I find funny is the advertisements in the late 60s talk about this toothpaste has fluoride, because before then it was just an abrasive paste to scrub your teeth with.
Oh my god, yeah.
And it's like there's nothing to like rebuild the enamel on your teeth, like fluoride or any variant thereof. And nope. It's just baking soda in a paste form. Like, holy shit.
Yeah. Oh, and the funny part about those ads though is it was all Crest ads that did this, and it would be like, oh yes, we're doing this sports thing, and you know, Sally always beats me and everything, but that's okay, because we did the Crest test. She used this other toothpaste brand and got all these cavities, but I used Crest and I got none. Like, holy shit. I'm getting a lot of answers about the toothpaste thing in chat. Holy shit. Who knew? All we had to do to find out what this shit tasted like was ask chat.
well, I'm Chad always knows. It's weird. It's like
Yeah.
something you think is like far gone and obscure, and all of a sudden everybody in chat's like, "Brrr," like it's such a wide
Yeah,
range
no,
of
no,
people.
toothpaste. It tastes like shit. We know. We remember the taste. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
like formerly Rod Line. We used to have to swish fluoride at school every Friday. Huh. Because it wasn't in the toothpaste. Wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
Then it was powder. Powdery taste, I guess, or it was powder? I guess?
well, you can do that in lieu of having.
Oh yeah. No,
you can just
I'd
wet your
completely
toothbrush
expect
and dipped it and wet your toothbrush and dip it into baking soda. I mean,
yeah. Yeah, it's just one of those weird things of like, I guess when you try to look it up, no one really thought it was a thing that anyone would ever want to know, you know? But holy shit. But
man, I hate retarded media. I know it's a drum I beat, but like, you people are just fucking blood-sucking vultures. Anyway, I mean, even over baseball, like, my beloved Washington Nationals won the second game. They're taking the World Series. This is the year. This is the year. For those of you who aren't baseball fans, World Series right now, the Washington Nationals have never made it to the World Series before, and now they're fucking crushing it. This is an 8-game streak for them in the postseason. And they are just demolishing the Astros. This is brutal. It's great. And they lost a key player last year, and everyone was like, "Oh well, now the Nationals are really fucked. There's no way they're winning the pennant this year." Bullshit. Even without that so-called key player, they're just demolishing. It's awesome. But I'm reading this article, and it's like from Seattle, and the title is, now, if you were writing about the Washington Nationals winning the World Series or doing very well, what would you write about? Probably baseball, right? Oh, not if you're a media blood-sucking vulture, you wouldn't. If you were Ashraf Kilali from the Associated Press, you would write an article with a headline, "In a Divided Washington, Nationals World Series Run Unites." The first part of it actually reads like this. They made baseball about a bunch of woke bullshit. But the unlikely World Series run of the Washington Nationals has become something truly unexpected, a unifying force in a city that hasn't known much of that and hasn't known much unity until recently. Really? Do you live there? Or do you live in Seattle, where you're writing from, you bullshit artist? Nationals red and the trademark swirling W become common sights amongst the District of Columbia. On game night 1 against Houston, a racially diverse crowd of thousands turned out. Like, do you see what, like, do you have to make it about? It's Washington, D.C. Of course it's a racially diverse crowd. The fuck? There's no politics in baseball, a Virginia resident said when they were pressured by this retarded journalist to make everything about race.
well, you know what's not racist?
Nothing. Everything's racist. You know that.
Yes, we sell unleaded gas.
No, that's racist. Because America is using its imperial military force to subjugate the poor Arab people of the Middle East and steal all their precious resources from them.
It was the 70s. It was the 70s. They're having an oil crisis, remember?
Well, that's only because
the Arabs are fighting back.
Well, yeah, the oil-producing nations that formed OPEC fought back in a small way against American imperialism. So the evil imperialist CIA went in there and formed a coup and got rid of the shop. See? No, you can't get away from it. America's evil. White people are racists. It's just the way that it is. Fuck. Like, who the fuck is running newsrooms today? I've said before, I'll say again. You can always find some nut bar to write something for you. That's not the part that surprises me. What surprises me, the editors that are saying, yeah, that's a good story. We need more stuff like that. Like, really?
I don't know what to say. This is why I don't always go out of my way to look at news stories.
It's just depressing. I don't want to run.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, I want to. I'm just looking for fun time news stories, and I look up fucking baseball, and this bastard that fucking the Yahoo News that was sorting that, I think, sorted that story near the top. Why? Well, that's the woke baseball story. Oh, go to hell. He starts talking about the well, there's a lot of income inequality in the district. And like, shut up if you don't live there. If you're not part of it, Jesus. Spurgs, Polly. Spurgs run the newsroom. I think they're under the impression that it's a hot topic. That's my best guess as to what they're, this is the hot topic of the moment. This is what people are clamoring for. This is what they want to know about. No, and it's not that they're all ideologues. They're just under the impression that this is the thing to ask about,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Pete's not wrong. He brings up the 9 a.m. call. Yeah, the editor sits around with everybody in the newsroom or on a conference call or whatever and directs, like, so the story you're working on, how's that going? Yeah, okay, we'll keep going. Or abandon it, fuck it, move on to this thing. You're not paying enough attention to the right thing. Yeah, they absolutely direct what the news is and is not going to be about for that day. It's true. You know who I feel bad for? Like, Australians, for example. There's a whole bunch of you here. I can't imagine opening up my newspaper or going to a news site or whatever and reading endlessly about Donald Trump. It would be like, oh, fuck off. Like, not only another country, but another country on the other side of the fucking globe. Go to hell.
Yeah, a little bit.
I remember watching this clip that appeared on a few different people on some different YouTube channels I watch use this clip. There's this news crew, 2-person crew in Australia, and they're in a downtown city after some guy, I think he ran a truck of peace into some people. Can't remember exactly what he had done, but he was an immigrant, suspected terrorism, etc., right? And the news reporters there talking blah, 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 and the unnamed individual who blah, and like, if it was a white person, they simply would have said it. If it was an Asian man, and not British Asian, but like actually Asian Pacific Asian, they would have just said it. But they're not talking about any of the details that they have about this person. There's some guy standing in the background going, say who it was, say terrorism, over and over again, and things like that. And when they're done, both the cameraman and the reporter lady both go up to him and say, what's wrong with you? We were live. He's like, say the name. You know his name. You know his background. You know he's an immigrant. You know he's a terrorist. Say it. And the woman looks at him and goes, why don't you just go to America and be with Donald Trump? And I'm like, oh God, it happens down there too? Why don't you just go be with Donald Trump? Like, or who are you, Donald Trump? Words to that effect. And it's like, oh, fuck off, woman. Who are you kidding?
Yeah, it's insane how much that's spread over here when it's like, this has nothing to do with us, guys. What are you doing?
And Pete's like,
holy shit.
I know more about U.S. politics than my own country's politics. I really think it comes down to newsroom shit.
That's the whole country at this point.
Yeah.
That's the whole country at this point.
It is not even, American news is more interesting. American news is it's melodramatically presented. The things that are going on are actually really boring and procedural. If you ever go down to any of the Senate House meetings, they're wildly procedural. It takes forever for them to get to something. It's like if you've ever actually attended a court proceeding. It's never like you would see on a television drama. Bullshit, blood-sucking vulture news entertainers due to politics, and political procedure, what television drama does to courtroom procedure. Like lawyers are always like, surprise witnesses and damning evidence. And it's like, if you're watching actual court cases, fucking nothing like that. Because that would be a kangaroo court and it would be ridiculous. There would be no justice there. Same kind of thing. You watching news today, US politics is not actually like that. They're cutting it down to the shortest possible thing and then turning to their way overpaid group of idiots that sit around a table and talk in dramatic terms about the things that are going on. Donald Trump said this thing that was brutally racist, offending half the country, and people are outraged. And of course, it's nothing even close to that far gone. I mean, everyone here has read Twitter, been on Twitter, is on Twitter. You know how people overreact there? Yeah, it's the same thing people are doing in newsrooms to bits of information that are actually pretty goddamn goes to school or work. And then one day they show up at school or work and a decision's made where a diversity and inclusion officer is there. And then the next thing they know, they're required to take social justice courses that have no legitimate historical, scientific, or academic basis. They are just grievance hustling presented as research material. I mean, and how do those things happen? Well, because they policies changed when you weren't watching. Because the people that are interested in indoctrinating everybody into their way of thinking seek administrative positions of power where they're able to do so. All the scholars who can't teach end up becoming administrators masquerading as scholars, and they go work in the admin departments in the faculty, and those are the ones instituting the changes that you see. So I hear you, the majority of people aren't aware that these things are going on, but that's exactly how they end up getting accomplished in the first place.
Yep.
Johnny Von Soccer says, dude, she's been a douchebag a long time before Trump came into politics. Oh yeah, I know. Bar and I were talking before Trump got elected.
What?
What?
Wow. Wow.
Wait.
I see how it is. I see how you really feel.
Dem was jokes. Dem was jokes.
I make you a drinking game, and you immediately call me a douche. Wow.
No.
I'm not made of Listerine.
Johnny Bonsacco called you a douche. I didn't. I don't know how you're putting up with that flack from him. I don't know what you did to him. Call him out in chat one time.
Didn't do shit.
Kate Brown. Good question. I don't know.
I'm so surprised you didn't run off with that Listerine comment.
They don't want to hear about that. Hey, do y'all know what Listerine is?
Oh god.
It's a not disinfectant. Yeah, disinfectant.
It's a mouthwash.
But right, but it's a generalized disinfectant that, when diluted, can be used as a mouthwash, and then was, like, up until now, was diluted and sold. It was sold in its diluted form as a mouthwash, because what it does is kill bacteria. So when you swish it around your mouth and it's diluted, it'll kill the bacteria in your mouth, and thus a mouthwash. But before then, it was just a generalized disinfectant, and women used to douche with it. Can you imagine that? Women douching with Listerine? Like, as a...
Yeah.
Sometimes for hygienic purposes, but mostly as a harebrained birth control scheme.
Yeah, don't want to get pregnant, kids? Just use some fucking Listerine off your bagoo. God damn.
What?
Can you imagine how painful that must have been, though?
Yes. Like, well, no, actually.
Holy shit. Like Listerine. Listerine already stings in your mouth.
That's where I'm getting it from. Like, if you
that's diluted. Like, that's diluted.
Even Minty Scope is like, you swish it around in your mouth and it's like, oh shit, that burns. Or Listermint, the later Listerine one.
Yeah. Oh god, the one where they're literally opening, in all the commercials, they're opening the lid and they're just like sticking their finger in there, putting it in their mouth, and going, that tastes good. Like, that was fucking weird. It was fucking weird. Okay. Every time. Swear to God. But, yeah, that was a thing they used to do.
Do we have any Brits in chat? You guys are having an extended amount of sympathy or empathy. I guess it would be empathy. Over the Brexit thing. I'm just looking at news right now, and it's Brexit, and it's like, oh god, the amount of frustration. Like, people talk about deadlock in American Congress. Jesus fucking Christ, how long ago was that vote?
Oh god, like, well before we were ever talking.
Look, I'm not even trying to talk about the politics of and the details of it and Boris's deal that got accepted partially, and not the details of it. I just mean, talk about undermining people's faith in democracy generally as just being a bunch of bullshit. Wow.
Yeah, like, to put it into perspective, okay? Like, we started talking in 2017, and this happened before we ever met. And it's still going on. They're still going, oh yeah, nah. Ooh, yeah, Brexit. Yeah, that's a thing we should be doing. Yes. Just stalling. Just stalling at this point.
And I hear you, and it tells you a lot about the power of professional politicians. And I'm not trying to blame them solely, but it is a strong factor that's involved. When somebody's in politics for so long that so many people rely on them being in that office. Can you imagine how many people rely on Bernie Sanders being a senator in Vermont? Because he's been a senator in Vermont for far. Those commercials we're watching were probably brand new when that guy first got elected. Like, it just...
Yeah.
I mean, holy fuck, has that guy been a senator for a long time? And it's like, so and I don't mean in terms of like mob boss shit that they rely on him to do stuff. It's just like, if that guy's a senator and he's a senator forever, you know what his interests are. He's going to have the same team of appointees around him trying to get business done. After a while, it turns into a almost permanent institution for this guy to be in office. So business is done in the same old way in Vermont, day after day after day, year after year is a better way to put it. And I bring that kind of idea up, like, yeah, when you have a bunch of people that are set up to do business in a very particular way, meaning with the EU, and then suddenly the people vote, no, we've had it with the EU, we want to leave, they can make it happen to grind it to a halt because of how entrenched they are. They can grind the thing to a fucking stop. Wild. Eric Peters is absolutely right. Bernie never had a job. No, he didn't. He never had a job that wasn't paid for by taxpayers. The guy has never, like my dad says, an honest day's work. Bernie has never done an honest day's work in his life.
Yep.
You want to do some interesting reading, like, and it's short too. If anyone's curious, go read Lee Harvey Oswald's Russian Diary. Lee Harvey Oswald accused assassin President Kennedy, right? He defected to Russia for 2 years. He became very enamored with communism, really a Marxist-Leninist. After he gets into communism really big, he was in the Marine Corps at the time, leaves the Marine Corps, gets a discharge, and immediately defects to the Soviet Union. Flies there and goes to the U.S. Embassy in Moscow and hands over his passport and says, I'm defecting to the Soviet Union, and I plan to make known to them all the radar secrets that I learned as a radar operator in the Marine Corps. He keeps a diary that doesn't actually have that many pages in it of what he was up to while he was there. Read it. See what life under communism is actually like. The public farms, for example. You don't hear a lot of talk about that. Bernie certainly didn't talk about it on his honeymoon that he took to the Soviet Union. Everybody
I still can't believe that he even did that.
Yeah.
Like, oh my god. Who looks at Soviet Russia? Russia in the middle of communism and goes, yes, this seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Marxism and communism is built upon great PR. It's built upon the premise of, everybody's equal. We have no classes. The goal of communism is the utopian classless society. And people misuse that term a lot. If they're talking Marx, as in they're a Marxist-Leninist, they're after communism. They're trying to achieve the ultimate end of communist, which is a communist society. Meaning, the means of production are completely owned by the people. There are no property owners. Everybody has huge amounts of leisure time because the means of production have allowed the production of all of these goods that not many people really need to work for all that long. So you have very short work hours, lots of leisure time. Nobody's a class above anyone else. There's no rich, no poor. I mean, that sounds great. But how's that going to be enacted?
It's that thing of like, fuck, okay. Lost that pen. It's that thing of it sounds great, yeah, but it also sounds kind of boring.
And
to be perfectly honest.
Well, when you put it that way, it does sound kind of boring, especially when you're shoveling it to a bunch of Europeans that are living like dirt poor at the time that Marx was writing. And it needs to be kept in mind, Marx was not an economist. Marx was not a political scientist, even though that term didn't exist at the time. He was not a political researcher. He certainly wasn't a historian, because he makes constant historical errors in the arguments that he makes. He was a philosopher. It was a proscriptive philosophy that he was coming up with. Not something that he thought was going to work because it was based upon sets of observations or something like that. And proscriptive social philosophy? Oh my God. That was the SJWism of its time. I mean, that's a very nice way of saying daydreaming about the way the future could be. Because he had the money to sit around and do it. Yes, Marx was quite wealthy. Have you ever noticed why Karl Marx has this money to travel and he's got this money to sit around and write? Why? Because he didn't have to work. Ironic that the man who writes Workers of the World Unite wasn't a fucking worker.
Yeah, that's one of the things I think people seem to forget about Karl Marx, is the fact that this wasn't a guy that was actually a worker. He wasn't one of these laborers that he was directing this to. He was a rich kid. Like, absolute, just, he already had his money.
And
and it's like, it's all well and good to be writing about this sort of stuff. Like, yeah, that's nice and all. But at the same time, though, the fact that he most likely did not actually know of their actual perspective in life, but was writing this anyway as if it was going to help them. It's kind of one of those weird things of they don't ever seem to recall this fact or even know of it. So
I think they know of it. They would probably just consider it, smearing one of the greats or something like that. And I mean,
yeah, or that.
I'm certainly trying to have the bar level conversation. Not breaking it down into fucking politics and all the details and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, what I certainly think is at foot of a lot of it is, you have personal property and property rights. You have an iPhone, you know what I mean? You would not be comfortable with the government telling you what to do with all of your income. You would not be comfortable with the government telling you one day a week you need to go work on the public farm. That's what I meant when I said go read Lee Harvey Oswald's Russian Diary. Because it's an extant diary that's one man writing, and he did not think anyone was ever going to read it. It's just what he did on a day-to-day basis. He makes very little money, and he had nowhere to spend the money because there's nothing to buy. There's no consumer goods in that kind of society. Nobody produces them because there's no profit motive for anyone to do anything. Nothing ever happens. So where does all the food come from? There's no commercial farming. Everybody, from the candlestick maker to the fucking cobbler to the guy who works in a radio factory like Oswald did, one day a week go work on the public potato farm. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. Can you imagine sowing potato seeds and digging up potatoes or whatever the fuck crop with your fellow neighbors once a week, and if you don't show up, you do show up. You don't want the consequences. You're not going to be sent to the gulag immediately. You'll be sent for, required to go to additional political re-education classes, and then if you refuse to go to those, everyone will be shunning you publicly, in that kind of way. You're forced to do it. I mean, it's awful, awful. And when you're somebody who's enjoying the fruits of ownership of private property, meaning, yeah, the iPhone I own is mine and nobody can take it from me. My time is my own. I choose to take this job and I choose to leave it when I will. None of that happens in a socialist system, you fucking retards. You're sitting here begging for socialism while enjoying all of the blessings of capitalism. Do you see? And that's the part that drives me nuts.
Yeah.
That should be the response to, well, we should want socialism because it's more humane. And it's like, no, the freedoms we enjoy are fantastic. And living away from them for 6 months, you'd be screaming to come back because what you consider to be basic and indelible freedoms, like, I want to go for a walk because it's 6 o'clock in the morning. I should be able to. You might be worried about, I better go with some friends just in case I don't get attacked or whatever, but you have the freedom to go do that walk if you want. You have the freedom to go buy what you want. No one's going to stop you from buying this thing or that thing. I remember Sargon's friend, I forget who it was. He lived under a former communist rule country. And he said, it kills me when you guys talk about different shampoos. We had one shampoo. It was called shampoo. And yeah, it was a store you could go to. But all the stores were very, very small. And they had one kind of shampoo. And it was produced by the government, by the people that were assigned to go work in that job. That's where your communist utopia will lead you to.
I just find it so funny. Like, I know it shouldn't, and I know it's probably really bad, but just they had one shampoo, and it was called shampoo. That is the most generic sounding shit. Holy crap! It's terrible, but it's hilarious. You see why I find this funny, right?
Sinatra popped in, but he's not here to hang out. He just woke up to piss.
Nice.
What's up, man? Actually, that reminded me. Somebody earlier said you should play some more Sinatra, like meaning as the background music. I would love to, but no, man, the copyrights would just murder you.
Yeah, oh God. I don't think that would be in public domain, would it?
Oh God, no. No.
Like, there's no way. There's no way.
No, his family, and then I don't know if he personally owns his entire, or rather his estate owns all of his catalog from Capitol Records, or if Capitol Records and whoever owns them is still selling it for money.
You would have to think they would be. Because, I mean, that's
You know what I would really dig is, because a lot of Sinatra is jazz and big band, heavily influenced stuff. I would love instrumentals of Sinatra classics, long form instrumentals of Sinatra tracks. But fuck, Chad, in case you don't know, I get hit with copyright claims all the time for the background music, and they're from royalty free places. Doesn't matter. The bots still recognize it. So one of two things going on. Either the bots are just claiming shit that whatever company set them afoot doesn't even own, which I'm willing to believe is probably the case, or it's someone's cover that they individually played of some jazz classic, which means it's theirs. They own it. You know what I mean? They're recognizing, the bot is recognizing the melody, the tune, and striking it anyway, claiming it anyway. And I live in this constant fear. They are only claims, but one time it could be a strike. And the instant it's a strike, fuck, no streaming. And Jesus Christ, with my microscopic channel, that's the last thing
Yeah, I know just how annoying those claims can be too. I mean, I've never been hit with anything that's actually restricted me, but it's more just that annoyance of someone's trying to make money off my shit, you know?
Yeah.
But that's more what annoys me about it. It's like, I put stuff up for fun, you know? And I don't ever expect to make money off it, and to be honest, I never want to make money off this shit. But it's that annoying knowing someone's coming along and seeing it and going, yes, I'm going to claim this and make money off it. Like, fuck off. Fuck right off. That's more what annoys me about it.
Yeah. We were talking the other night that the Sinatra just made an interesting comment about the Rolling Stone Top 100. I got to go look this up. That's fucked up. But we were talking about that the other night. The idea of an ad showing up when somebody comes after the fact to watch Noir Bar on a shift at work or his background or whatever, and an ad plays before it for somebody who probably doesn't even own the 5 minutes of music that was playing during the 2-hour stream. That drives me, I guess it's a small thing, but it drives me fucking nuts that someone's having to put up with an ad.
Well, it's not even the putting up, it's just more, I mean, yeah, that's annoying too, but it's also the fact that someone thinks that's okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
And to just, like the whole copyright for a third party bullshit.
Right.
Those fuckers. Those absolute shitheads. It's like, I'm never gonna let those guys go. Never gonna let that go, because that was the one that was for... How blatant can you be?
That was for the top 100. Or not the top 100, for the entertainer,
like some
right?
shitty... Yeah, like some shitty Splatoon video I did ages ago. I checked in everything to make sure the entertainer was in the domain, like public domain, and it is. But like, holy shit. Just that copyright for a third party.
Yeah, when you've
Ad revenue for a third party, like fucking hell.
Yeah, when you've named a company ad revenue for a third party and it does nothing but bot claim all over YouTube, oh man, you're a fucking bottom feeder.
Yeah, you're scum of the earth and fuck right off.
And I thought about it, and they have every reason. Like, let's say that, like, I don't know, Eric Peters here, or set up a company that does that, and it's how's he making money? Well, he takes a cut of whatever claim they get, right? Well, there's Eric Peters' financial incentive to claim a whole bunch of shit he doesn't actually own. Do you see what I mean? They design the bots to just grab anything and everything, because how many people actually bother fighting against it? Like, this channel isn't monetized. You know what I mean? So the bots run around, and it's like, oh, well, are you really going to file a dispute? You're a small channel. You got like 1,000 subs, and you're not monetized. You're not going to run a dispute over this. You're just going to accept the fact that there's an ad playing before your video and just roll with it. There's a financial incentive and a push for them to get as much money as possible by claiming shit they don't even own.
And it's one thing if it's like, it's a piece of music where it's like, okay, yeah, that's yours. I probably shouldn't have used it. I'm sorry. But it's the fact that a lot of these people just they straight up just don't own the shit they're claiming.
Yeah.
Straight up. And it's, oh my god, why? Fuck right off, guys. I know I keep saying that, but that's just...
So
there's no other way to put that.
So Sinatra says there's the Rolling Stone Top 100. And I see a couple here is like the top 100 artists, and it was updated in 2011. The list, I decided to take a list at the top 100 of this century so far. So up to 29. Not sure when they filed this. June 28th, 2018. We polled artists, critics, and industry insiders to create a list of the era's truly essential moments. Uh-huh. Do you want to see what their top 10 are? Their top 10 essential tracks of this century so far.
Oh boy, what is it?
Hold on, I'm just loading this. I can only imagine. 20 years, what have they come up with? What's the Friday girl called? Vanessa Black?
Rebecca Black. Is she on there?
No, I'm willing to bet that she is. I mean, it's a whole bunch of industry scumbags and shills. The picture that they've used as the graphic for this is Beyonce, Andre 3000, and that meth head looking guy from Green Day.
The future looks bright.
All right, number 10 is Last Night by The Strokes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Number 9 is Royals by Lorde.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to think of... I mean, that's a fine song and all. Like, I have no problem with it, but I wouldn't claim that it's like a top song of all time.
Yeah, well, of this century so far.
Oh, well... well, if it's just this century so far, then shit, we don't have a lot of choice here.
Right. Rich says, oh, damn
Especially
it, Polly, I
if
forgot
they're only
about it.
including the West in this. Like, Jesus Christ.
Number 8 is Rolling in the Deep by Adele.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I mean, it's still kind of like, but if it's just this century, then, well, shit.
Yeah. Number 7, Runaway by Kanye West.
Mm.
Number 6 is Maps by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I don't even know that fucking song.
I think I've heard of the band, but never heard that song.
Number 5 is 99 Problems by Jay-Z.
Oh my god. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. That's... Oh.
Hey, let me tell you something about that song that pisses me off. First of all, I got 99 Problems and a Bitch Ain't One. Yeah, that's an Ice-T song. It's called 99 Problems. Came out on an album called Home Invasion that he did about 10 years before Jay-Z's version. Jay-Z does a song where the hook is 99 Problems, but a bitch ain't one. Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, imagine if another rock group came out with a song that with the hook to it was like, I don't know. I want to rock and roll all night and party every day. They just ripped off that Kiss song. They just used those same words in that same order, and that was their chorus. You'd be like, you're a bunch of fucking rip-off artists. I mean, that blows my fucking mind. That Jay-Z, I mean, it's an Ice-T song, an old one. Johnny Monsaka says, I prefer 99 Love Balloons. Okay. Hey Ya by Outkast. I do like Outkast. I'm not such a fan of Andre 3000 because he kind of went like insane. And his peak insanity was reached with that track. That track is just, I guess you could call it catchy, but there's no way to describe it other than kind of dumb. It's a stupid song. Like, I don't mean stupid isn't bad. I just mean, like, it sounds like a jingle for chewing gum or something. Hey, yeah, or like a theme
Well, like
park.
that red gum, whatever the fuck it was.
Hey, that song's brilliant.
Okay.
It's Big Red.
Okay, well.
I was able to convince Far that it was called Big Red, not because it was a cinnamon gum, but it was founded by a large Aboriginal man. He believed me.
You did not. You did not.
Oh, fuck. Okay,
Go back to your gum.
Okay. Number 3. Okay. Something I can sink my teeth into. Seven Nation Army by the White Stripes. That song is badass. I'm not even a fan of rock, and that song is amazing. A little overplayed, but it's fucking amazing. There's somebody who knows how to fucking play a bass line. Holy shit. Number 2 is Paper Planes by MIA. Talk about an overrated artist. Fuck off. They call this track a globalist hip-hop masterstroke. Holy shit. You know when you're reading some fucking tripe, huh? When you're reading a pop culture magazine, when you read lines like globalist hip-hop masterstroke. I write about music for a living.
Yeah, and what else do you do?
Yeah. You want to know what number 1 is?
What's number 1?
Crazy in Love by Beyonce featuring Jay-Z.
Of course it's Beyonce.
That song is a remake of a 70s soul classic. The beat is a sample from another 70s soul classic. Beyonce's entire image is a ripoff, amalgamating the Supremes' look. That is, and you put that as number 1. It is a retrashed, blenderized hodgepodge of better music.
Well, it's...
What's that, Far? Oh, shit. Did we lose Far? I think we lost Far, guys. Oh, my God. I think she left in disgust. I heard it was Crazy in Love and was like, oh, man, I'm the fuck out of here. Beer for my men, whiskey for my horses. Wait, whoa, that's backwards. Beyonce angers me, says Pete. It's not that I think that she's talentless. I just think she's mind-blowingly over promoted and thus overrated. I mean, you guys have heard me make this comment before if you've seen me on other streams. Just I've talked about it with like Monkey on Monkey in the Morning and shit. When you say you like Beyonce, what you mean is you like that 60 or 70 person team that makes up Beyonce. Her wardrobe person, her makeup person, the numerous people that have done songwriting for her over the years, her production artists, the people that set up her live performances. She's involved with the creation of what you see as one person Beyonce, but it is her songwriter is arguably who you like more than her. Her music producers are arguably who you like more than her. Her training vocal coach is arguably who you like more than her. It is a massive production. It's interesting. People don't make that mistake with actors and movies because they're understood as a collaborative art, but they go out of their way when it comes to singers to make it seem like it's not collaborative. So you're watching a film that has, I don't know, an actor you like in it. Denzel Washington. Oh, I like Denzel. Denzel's cool. And you recognize that he's an individual actor who plays different parts, and his job is to take the script, learn it, and then perform it to the best of his ability in front of the camera, right? You don't say, nobody in their right mind anyway says, yeah, that Denzel Washington guy, man, those lines that he writes, they're the best. They're not under the impression that he directed the movie and chose his wardrobe and did his own makeup and et cetera, et cetera. When people talk about Beyonce, they say, oh my God, she's such a talented artist, implying that she actually did all of the stuff, or at least did most of it. Not even close. She's got as much to do with her singing on stage as Denzel does with him in front of a camera. Yeah, he's doing the one part he's doing, not anything else. You know what I mean? Yeah, they're far officially dropped out of the Hangout that we were in. Speaking in. She has what we call Aussie internet that fails from time to time, as we really see here. So it'll take her a while to come back, or I'm stuck here at the bar by myself. Oh yeah, she actually did just DM me to say internet died. Think about that for a second. She DM'd me over the internet to say her internet wasn't working. I sense a scheme. Yeah, Pete says, even in the Destiny's Child days, she was the star of the show. Yeah, and they all knew that. That's what, Beyonce's Beyonce's parents were the group's managers. They were fucking backup singers to help promote the main girl, you know what I mean? There we go. Just shooting the link to Pat. See if he feels like coming on. I know his chat there. Speaking of Pat, he says, remember when she got her hair stuck in a fan at one of her concerts? No, I don't remember that. But I do know that Beyonce definitely has the money for top quality weave. So I'm sure that shit was sewn tight. Hopefully it didn't rip the portion of her scalp that it was sewn in tight too. I've seen multiple... I've never seen an enjoyable fall that Beyonce's done. I've seen her trip and fall on stage, video clips of people showing that stuff. But sometimes you'll see someone fall and it's laughable, and other times you see them fall and it's like, oh my God, are you okay? Like, that's where you could have cracked your fucking head open, woman. What are you doing walking down glossy stairs on this giant concert setup that you have with 5-inch fucking high heels when you're running around and dancing and making your ankles all fucking tired? And now you're going to run up and down these stairs in high heels that are glossed? This seems like a recipe for a fucking broken leg. Ugh. You know who does have the most enjoyable falls though? Speaking of falls in public there when they're recording, Jennifer Jennifer overrated. What's her name? She played Mystique in all of the X-Men films, with the exception of Rebecca Romaine playing her. Jennifer Lawrence. At the Oscars, that's twice now. That girl really needs to focus on step, and get shorter cut dresses, but she wants to appear, because she's Hollywood royalty now, right? In these long gowns that she can't walk in, with these high heels that she can't walk in, and the idiot walking up to accept an award stumbles like a moron twice, right? And looked like a fool doing it. It was funny as hell. Yeah, Mike Parlett says she's no Michael Jackson. Goddamn right she's not. Michael was that's too much talent for one man right there. That guy was a polymath with music. He had songwriters write songs for him and worked with different producers and stuff, but he was the musical director. He had so much influence over the music that was going on. So many songs would be created and then only a scant, 12 to 14 of them or whatever are selected to be upon an album. He's like Prince in that way. Yeah, Prince works with other musicians, but Jesus, that guy's an artist of was an artist of unbelievable talent. That's not Beyonce, man. That's what Inquisitor always calls her. He refuses to pronounce her name properly. He calls her Beyonce. Love it. You know what style I want to pick up? There's a streamer I really like. Goes by the name of Young Ripper 59. Does a lot of comic book material, some politics stuff. He has locked down the ability to do dead air on a stream, and the camera's on him. He's actually he upgraded to a 4K camera not too long ago, because I think the guy's kind of a tech junkie that refuses to admit it. He really loves, camera that can do this, computer that can do that. He really loves performance of them. Anyway, he's got his camera off to the side, focused in on him. The guy will actually stop midstream as he's talking about a given comic and go, "In this issue, pissed me off when this happened, but this was okay, so it made it barely worth the cover price in general." And then he'll open up the comic and he'll just start leafing through it. And people are okay with this. He'll sit there, be reading it for like a couple of minutes. And the chat's just kind of sitting there talking amongst themselves. There'll be 300, 400, 500 people watching, still reading just by himself. And people have just accepted it at this point. That you're going to get dead zones and you're going to get dead air when Young Rip is streaming, when Eric July is streaming. I wish I could do that. I'm like, hold on, chat. I'm going to go, I don't know, I'll be right back. I just want to read a few pages of this comic. Y'all lay in the cut for a minute. Oh, as far back? Did you make it back far?
Yeah, thank God. Fuck.
Oh, the internet got you again, huh?
Yeah. Fuck the NBN. If you haven't got the NBN now, don't do it. Just fuck. It's not worth it. It's not worth it at all.
Well, I didn't understand for the longest time why that was. It's like, okay, why don't you just switch back to your former provider? And you're like, because you had to change the actual equipment. Like once you're there, you're dedicated. And I was like, oh, that's convenient.
Yeah, pretty much. Like if there's only one kind of internet we can even have now, because we're on the NBN, and it's the NBN. So it's just don't do it. Oh God.
Oh my God. How far behind is my chat? Brutally is the answer. That's at least 3 minutes. Both Ebony Williams and Mike Parlett. I was trying to think. I was like, who's that person who kept falling down? Jennifer. And I was trying to think of Jennifer Lawrence, right? Ebony just came up in my chat and said, Lawrence? That was like 3 minutes ago I asked that question. How fucking far behind is my chat? Motherfucker. Oh, there's your message. Just came up on my screen, by the way. So my internet came back, but I can't get back into the Hangout for whatever reason.
Wait, why is your chat so far behind?
I don't have to tell you. That is, well,
because my chat's pretty close. What's going on with your chat?
And then Manic just says Lawrence, too. And see? Fuck.
The, huh.
Oh shit.
Are you on top chat?
No, no, I'm on live chat.
Okay.
What? I think it's running so far behind because I'm running so many things right now. Currently, I have open, OBS, a popped out chat, so one instance of my browser of Firefox, and then another instance of Firefox with some stories and stuff in it, and the, excuse me, my YouTube Creator Studio for starting and stopping the stream and stuff like that. And then I have another browser open, which is for Streamlabs, so I can actually read the Streamlabs. And then I have Google Chrome open, because that's the Hangout we're in. Fuck. Like that's, and I'm running like a 4-year-old laptop here.
Why don't you have chat up on your phone then? If you want it to be up to date.
Your good ideas aren't welcome here, Far. You take your clear thinking and sound reasoning and go somewhere else with it.
Oh, okay, fine. I'll just fuck off again then.
I was thinking about doing something because I have a second laptop and I'm like, if I want to lower the pressure, like meaning the demand on system resources on my computer, I have another laptop that's got one of them flippy around screens so you can use it like a tablet. And I'm thinking I should have Super Chat up on that as well as chat up on that. But then I'd have to like completely reorganize things to have enough room on this desk for it to be up here. I guess I could do that. It would at least, because it would still be able to capture chat OBS on this computer. Formerly Rodline asks, Polly, how old are you? I am 33. Ah, the pleasing sounds of bar silence.
Ah, yes. I've got people defending me. Nice. Nice.
Oh yeah, that list that, so Sinatra mentioned the Rolling Stone list. And the reason why he was so angry about it, and I fucking personally agree, he said it's a terrible list. He says there's no Sinatra, there's no Sammy Davis Jr., and there's no Billie Holiday. And I'm like, okay, that right across the board is a crime. If you're talking about the greatest songs of all time, and you got 100 slots to fill, and you didn't think to put Sammy Davis Jr., Billie Holiday, or Frank Sinatra in any of them, you people are clearly retarded. Maybe their estates didn't have enough money to pay you to put them in at a high slot or in at all. Gives me that kind of feeling.
Maybe.
Kylie Minogue is highly placed there, Far. Be patriotic about that.
Yeah, okay, fine.
Who do you think Rolling Stone would name as the greatest artist of all time? Who do you think that would be?
Beyonce.
You don't think they're going to go Michael Jackson or Prince or...
No, I think they're going to go Beyonce.
Wow.
Am I right?
I don't know. I'm just loading it up right now. Even ones like, we talk without you in chat a lot, lol. I expect people to come to a bar and talk with people other than the bartender. That's fine. It makes perfect sense to me.
Oh, damn, you really are far behind.
Yes.
Because that was a while back.
Hey! Fine.
Just load up chat on your phone.
You know what is ironic?
What?
The the captured chat that I can look at in OBS is right on time. The pop-out chat is the one that's 5 minutes behind.
Oh my god, what is going on?
I don't know. It must be prioritizing that browser capture. OBS must be prioritizing the browser capture over the browser alone that has the pop-out chat in it.
Maybe.
Elvis! Johnny Bonsacos. That's funny. I can look at this screen and see it, but not the other one. Jeez. As with many websites, it's trying to simultaneously load every picture on the page, even though I haven't come close to scrolling down that far yet, chat. So just give me a second for my potato to finish doing what it's doing. Because Rolling Stone is trying to load 100,000. You know, there are 84 advertising scripts being blocked on this page right now. 80 fucking 4 advertisements on this page alone. I wonder why it takes so long to load. I mean, I only know that because, 86, it's blocked now because AdBlock Plus is. I mean, oh my god. This is how these fucking pop culture parasites survive. Shoving a whole bunch of unnecessary advertisement down your throat. Because they don't get a lot of traffic, so they need to maximize every view that they do get. You know what I mean? Yeah. All right. Number 9 is Aretha Franklin.
Okay.
Number 8 is Little Richard.
Mm-hmm.
I can't tell you how badly I hate Rolling Stone right now. Now the pop-up ads are coming. Subscribe to the daily Rolling Stone music newsletter. You're trash. You're ancient. You're from a bygone era. We're counting off your top 100 to laugh at you. You're a dusty fucking relic. Fuck off. You think I want your fucking newsletter jamming up my fucking inbox the way you're jamming up my browser right now? Okay. Number 7 is James Brown. I love me some James Brown. Number 6 is Jimi Hendrix. You can love Jimi Hendrix, but his career was short, and he didn't influence that many people. He's just remembered fondly because he played really well. But greatest artists of all time? What? Why? Played really well, and a lot of people remember what he did play very fondly. I don't understand. Greatest, like, Little Richard influenced a fuck ton of people. James Brown influenced a fuck ton of people. Jimi Hendrix is remembered fondly by a fuck ton of people. If you want to look at the origins of rock and roll and heavy metal after it, playing with heavy distortion, it can be found in blues and blues rock, not in Jimi Hendrix. This is a list made by retards. Chuck Berry, number 5. Okay, I can see that. Talk about a name. Number 4 is the Rolling Stones. Number 3 is a very racist inclusion of Elvis Presley. Oh my god. So probably.
They actually include Elvis Presley.
Yep. Number 2 was Bob Dylan. I mean, I get it.
Okay.
Oh, why didn't I see this one coming? I should have guessed that these retards would have guessed. I gotta stop saying up and all that.
No, keep them coming.
Why do you want my channel to go away, Far? I'm surprised that I didn't guess who number 1 was going to be. I can't scroll back and check because I closed it. Wondering if anyone else guessed it.
What is it?
Motherfucking Beatles.
You know what? I can't believe I didn't think of that.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
The Beatles. Like, it's the launch of rock and roll, the British invasion, blah, blah, blah. I can see why they. Wild. Not great singers. Yeah. I kind of disappointed that Prince wasn't in the top 10. I think that was a major oversight on their part. I don't know. Who knows on what?
But Polly, the Beatles.
Yeah. The Beatles.
The Beatles. The Beatles.
You know, I watched a documentary on YouTube. And it was on the most influential people of the past millennium. And it was done way back in 2000. And it was interesting, the criteria upon which they decided the most influential people, that was the criteria: influence alone, not PR, not how they're respected after the fact, or how much they're respected after the fact, but on influence alone. Because on what other basis would they decide? I actually kind of respected that decision. Any guesses as to some of the odd choices that would have land in the top 10? Because that doesn't mean you have to be a nice person, just an influential one.
What, was Hitler on there?
Yeah. Yeah, he was.
You're not... Oh my god. I was saying that as a fucking joke.
No. He was like 6 or 7. I can't remember. He was in the top 10. Because remember, it's influence. Yeah. The shape of modern Europe looks like the way that it does because of Hitler.
I mean, it makes sense, but at the same time,
America coming out of the Great Depression was because of Hitler. The Cold War started because of Hitler. 6 million people died because of Hitler. And then that's 6 million people in death camps and work camps and extermination along the way. That doesn't include the 22 million Russian soldiers that died, etc., etc., etc. So that's how Stalin also makes it on there with his infamous 5-year plans. He took it from an agrarian society to a society that actually had factories. And yeah, as he was reshaping that society, chips flew like a motherfucker, and he had people wiped out like crazy. But again, they're going by influence. So
yeah, which makes sense. It's just like still like holy crap.
Yeah, and I don't. What I was thinking about is, I'm amazed that you had the intellectual honesty to do that, to stick to the criteria that you established. We're gonna go with influence, and on that basis, yeah, Hitler belongs there. Yes, he does. And of course, when they talked about him, they said more or less what I did. It's like a man that was responsible for untold amounts of destruction. And that destruction and the combination of nations that had to come together to stop it is what shaped the 20th century as we know it. JFK was on there, Rich, but he was pretty far down.
I mean, like, how can you top Hitler?
Yeah, Marx was extremely high up as well, because all of the people he influenced, in the sense of like Soviet Union, Mao, so like Chinese communism, and then Cuban communism by extension, and Cambodian communism under the Khmer Rouge under Pol Pot by extension, like into Korea and so forth, like all of the communist shit. Yeah, Marx was not the sole player in that, but talk about influence for his ideas. Holy shit. Any guesses who number one was? I actually really respect and totally agree with their number one choice.
What was the number one?
Johann Gutenberg. Because for the longest time, no easy way to print with movable type quickly, efficiently, and inexpensively. There was a grape press, is what he used, style printing press, like in every town 10 years after he had made his. Because it was just like, holy shit, this rocks. We can print books. Dissemination of knowledge. Everything spreads everywhere. Technological innovation rapidly increases. Spread of everything. You name it. Religion, artistic technique, observation, scientific discovery, the entire Renaissance. Like, yeah, all enabled by dissemination of information through easily printable books.
Yep.
Steve Gutenberg? No. It's jeez.
So YouTube has decided not to work on my laptop. That's great.
How so?
It's the VPN I use. Sometimes it's just decides, yeah, no, we're not going to load YouTube at all. So you have to disconnect from it, then reconnect from it, and it's just everything else works fine. It's just fucking YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of got shut up on my phone, like I suggested to you.
Right. Oh, if I did, then it was a mistake, Greg Rogers. If I, you said, I thought you said 100 years. If I did, I must have got caught up off of those two 100 Rolling Stones lists. It was the top people of the past millennium, because it was like, it was done in 2004, the millennium, so it was the most influential people of the last millennium, you know? Yeah, if I said 100, that was a misspeak. There was lots of people in there where it's, I get what they're saying in terms of like influence of like, you know, he shaped Europe in the way that it looks. Yes, and that's exactly why they would include given leaders in the Ottoman Empire that controlled huge swaths of like unbelievably massive swaths of land under the Ottoman Empire and expanded it to the size that it was, which then influenced this, which would later become Turkey. So I don't know. It depends on how many ripple effects you want to consider off of somebody's actions. You know what I mean? And the list is extremely malleable.
Yeah.
I was just, like I said, extremely impressed that there was a time before everybody made their lists and thoughts based upon how outraged everyone on Twitter would be. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if they made that list today, the most influential person would be like, you know, Caitlyn Jenner. Admit it.
Yeah.
Just to do it. Like, it would be a virtue signal to death list. This influenced people all over the world to know that gender identity, something, things, and stuff. The millennials know that a millennia isn't 100 years. I'm going to say yes, but I'm not going to put money on it. You know, when you have, you know those movements where you get your David Hogg types and all of the bottom-feeding parasites that swarm around them to promote them because they can use them as shields and megaphones for their ideas. The people that put Greta Thunberg up front and center, you know.
Yeah.
Right? And you get those more...
Unfortunately.
Yes. And you get those ventriloquists, that's what I like to think of them as, saying things like, we need to let the children lead. Isn't it ironic that the children are the ones who will show us the way? You should do an opinion poll on age demographics on who people think the most influential person in the past 100 years was. Oh,
Yeah.
I okay, I boomered that good and hard.
It's okay, we're both boomers.
I pasted the link for Pat, but I failed to click enter.
Oh,
So I never sent the link to Pat. Like, I was thinking, oh, he must be busy this morning. He can't come on. No, he just never got the fucking link because
well done.
yeah, I poly boomered that one to the fullest. Well done.
Yeah. So welcome to Noir Bar, where we're both boomers.
Oh fuck.
You just not sending links, me just closing windows left and right.
I've done the close the wrong window thing. I've done that.
Yeah.
Nothing new there. Oh, you know what? We're talking about like Caitlyn Jenner. Like enter question mark? Yeah, like I did Control V, I pasted, I cut and pasted the link for the Hangout into Pat's DM, but then I didn't send it. I just pasted it in there.
Yeah, Pat's patiently sitting at his table waiting for the link to come his way.
Oh God, I hope not. That's oh, that's a terrible thought. Pat's just sitting there tapping his massively muscular finger on the tabletop, going, "Motherfucker." Oh man, that would be awful.
Oh God. Yeah, he's gonna hunt you down.
No.
So why didn't you give me the link, Polly?
Evil One says nobody loved that comic. No, I sent it. I sent Jack the link.
Yeah, he just doesn't turn up sometimes.
Yeah, Jack does sleep. I don't know how he manages it, but he does.
I mean, it's such a weird thought, but yeah, people do sleep.
Okay, so somebody brings up Caitlyn Jenner again. No, you can talk about Caitlyn if you want. Caitlyn Jenner comes up, and that reminded me, Fart. Remember when we were watching the commercial from 1973 or 78, whatever it was, and it had Bruce Jenner in it?
Oh God, yeah, that was so weird.
It was so weird, guys.
It was
Eerie. Young man. This was a decathlon, I think he was. Like, just extremely athletic guy. You know, he's with the kids, and he's like, I think it was for cereal, and he's like, you know, start your day the healthy way. Yeah.
It was cereal or juice, like one of the two.
Yeah, like some kind of product that would promote your health. And yeah, and he's like, you kids should do this because, you know, you can be strong like me. And I'm like, this is so eerie right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just so strange to look at as well because he was slightly effeminate as well. It was just like, am I just seeing that though? Like, am I like projecting that onto him, knowing what's gonna happen in the future, or is this like?
So far says that he kind of looks a little effeminate, and I'm like, yeah, I kind of see what you mean. Like he's got whatever rounded features, soft features, I guess. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. The exact same thing you were. Am I projecting that on him? And in reality, no, that guy looks masculine as fuck. I don't know.
Yeah, it's just one of those odd things of like, am I actually seeing this, or is it because I know in the future he becomes a she, and yeah, I don't know, but it was fucking weird.
Yeah, I did
almost
not expect.
Weird all those Bill Cosby ads.
We have made so many rape jokes because there's so many Bill Cosby ads back in the day. It's
oh God, it doesn't help. There's also all those ads for movies where it's just like she was raped as the whole thing behind it as well. So it's kind of like,
yeah, the 70s were fascinated with rape as a plot point. Whether it was Saturday Night,
80s, but it was mostly the 70s as well.
Yeah, whether it was Saturday Night Fever, or every movie was about some woman getting raped somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, and then there's that one TV show like Hotel.
Yeah.
Hotel, where it's like she was raped in the hotel, and then there's another one where you see as like the queen of porno. You're like, God damn, what's going on here? What the fuck is this? So strange. 70s are a weird time.
Damn right.
Oh no, we have seen a couple of O.J. Simpson commercials.
Oh man, so
Yeah,
many.
The amount
Hertz
of times
Rent-A-Car.
Polly makes, the amount of times Polly makes like murderer jokes with it.
Well, because it's Hertz Rent-A-Car, so most of the commercials, he's on a mad dash through the airport. I'm like, oh shit, you just killed another wife. He's on the run. It's
it's so dumb, but it's just holy shit. How can you not make those jokes? Because again, it's that thing of just knowing in the future what happens.
I don't know. The news breaks too.
Oh god, the news break.
The news breaks, like, not so much for like the horrible stories, because there certainly are a lot of those, but I mean more like,
oh my god, that's one of the things on the drinking game list. It's who died, because literally almost every single time a news update thing appears, something horrible happens, and it usually involves at least one death.
Yep.
At least. Like, oh god. Like, you'll be watching like some whimsical thing with Bill Cosby at one moment, and suddenly it's like, so downtown LA, like 50 people died in an explosion. Jesus.
There were always buildings exploding and people getting crushed, and it was
assassinations.
They've only got a few.
My god.
It seems bad. This is my theory on it. It seems bad because they've only got a few minutes to get the news across, because it's not god-awful CNN or MSNBC where they can talk all day long about their political enemies. You know what I mean? They've got, and these are news clips, like, they all end with the statement, more at 11. Kind of thing, like the news at 11.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've only got a couple of seconds to say, so it sounds vicious, like, so-and-so died, so-and-so exploded, so-and-so was raped, more at 11.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, I've seen a lot of those things growing up, because that's just what they did for a lot of news broadcast things here.
Mm-hmm.
So, but, like, I've never seen so much death and destruction in so many of them. Like, I'm not even kidding. Usually it's just cute. Like, you have your few serious things, but then you have, like, most of it's just fluffy shit.
Yeah.
Like, I have never seen just horrifying thing after horrifying thing after horrifying thing, then followed by, and then these baseball guys, they won the Nationals, more at 11. Like, fuck, man.
Speaking which, those Nationals baseball guys are winning. You're right. Go Nationals.
Like, oh my god. Oh god.
You don't understand, Far. I'm very excited, okay?
I know you are.
They're my Nats, okay? And they're fucking winning, and
But I'm still just kind of living in the, the trauma here of, like, horrible things. Horrible news things. Holy shit.
Well, can you do an English accent, Far?
Probably. Why?
Well, because, like, Mike Parlett says, see if you can get Far to do the young journalist voice. News at 11, that kind of thing. But since you're an Australian journalist, you would have to sound like an English person, right? That's what you told me. They all try and sound English on the news.
Oh god, yeah. No, ABC News, that is, or at least the radio. It's the radio version of ABC that they do.
Well, it sounds more educated.
News at 11. Yeah, it does. That's why they do it.
It's the same thing here. All the people that have a Southern accent all drop it to go on the news. Brooke Baldwin on CNN, looking at you, honey. Yeah, she has a Southern accent, a very nice one. But it's like, oh, I can't talk like that. Everyone will think I'm a stupid redneck. Well, even if they do, they're fucking morons. And it's the fact that only people that live in the South and are proud and happy to live in the South still talk with their accent. It's you people that are ashamed of nothing, that hide your accent, that keep up that idea that everyone in the South is an ignorant redneck. You know what I mean? Like it.
Yeah.
Dog, still talking about the Expos. It's been years, man. Years.
More news at 11, cunts. Yeah, if only. If only they could actually say that on TV. Oi, mate, more news at 11, cunts.
Oh, you know something that I discovered?
What?
that came out, well, you're going to know about this. I'm kind of talking to chat, but I mean, wasn't a question to you.
Okay.
Anyway.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Fine.
see, I knew you were going to take that the wrong way, so I started explaining because Far's weird like that. No, the expense of imported luxury items in Australia.
Oh, yeah, this.
Because we're watching 90s ads from Australia. And
Yep.
a lot of
90s ads.
A lot of albums are being advertised. And the music collections that were printed in country are some, I don't know, whatever they were. They were like $10 to $14, $10 to $15. But then
Yeah, there weren't much.
Michael Jackson's album History, which is a double CD, was $40 fucking dollars. $40 fucking dollars for a double CD. I think it wouldn't even matter if it was a double CD. You know, here it would be anywhere near that expensive. That's just mind blowing, and it's not printed in Australia. It's shipped in, so therefore luxury import item. I had no idea that you guys were paying a because we can tax.
That's pretty much what it is. It's a because we can, you fucking cunts tax. That's all it is.
Yep. There's yes, I would expect it to be more expensive because of import fees and stuff. Like you got.
I get why it's a bit more expensive, but at the same time, not why it's that more expensive. Like Jesus Christ.
Exactly. Somebody figured out that they can gouge, and is doing it.
Yeah. Yeah, Jesus Christ. And then, like, I started telling you guys about the price of video games, and that was what got Zelda going. Holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, I was surprised. Like, even on Steam and shit, stuff's more expensive, and it's like, what?
Oh, yeah.
Why?
Oh, and you want to know an absolute fucking scam, by the way? If you buy a Steam gift card here in Australia, okay?
Yep.
And you go and redeem it on Steam, they automatically convert what you've bought into American dollars.
Okay.
Yeah, so they convert it, but then they also convert it back to Australian dollars. So you've got less money on there than what you've actually paid for.
Let's say I sent you a $100 gift card. Are we talking electronic in in like a physical card?
Like an actual physical card.
Okay,
an actual physical card. You go to EB Games, you go to the shitty little rack they have of like gift cards for all their various e-stores.
Right.
You grab one for Steam. It's like $50. You go into Steam at home, you register the card, and it's less money.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know if they still do that, but I did that once. And that's where I found out it's a fucking scam. Don't do it.
Well, that's fucking nuts.
Yeah. And they will charge more for online as well if you're an Australian, okay? And it's not just on Steam, it's on every single platform. Because they're not basing it on whether or not you have a physical copy. They're just basing it either on... Sometimes they base it like, say the Switch store, where if you still go on there, alright, it's all... Like, say, Link's Awakening. It will still be the same price as if you bought it in store. But if it's something like Untitled Goose Game, they're just going to scale the price up to whatever it would be in dollar dues.
Okay.
Yeah, you have that weird in between, but a lot of the time sometimes they'll just scale it up because they can.
So,
especially if it's a main title game.
What is the cheapest? I mean, does Australian Post, whatever your national postal service is called?
Yeah, Australian Post. Australia Post.
You guys got like bubble packs, right? Like mailers.
bubble pack.
Well,
Sorry?
they have like those little plastic air bubbles inside them. It's
Oh
like,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Bubble packs that you can buy like at the post office that you'll be able to like slip a game in. Like, what is the cheapest that bubble pack's going to be to mail something? Like, what's the cheapest mailing rate in between Australia and America?
Not worth importing the game, to be perfectly honest.
It wouldn't be cheaper just to have Platy mail it to you.
What if she mailed it to me and I gave her the money?
Yeah.
Then maybe, but it's if I was just importing it myself, because they'll charge shipping and all that sort of stuff usually.
Oh God,
yeah,
no. I meant doing it.
No, but if
I meant Platy buying it like at a reasonable place in a competitive market. And then simply mailing you the fucking thing.
It might be cheaper because they do because when it comes to shipping just like that, they do base it on weight.
Right.
Yeah, which we found out the hard way, but you know.
Yeah. And that's why that's why I was asking about like the mailers, like if you were to send something to play, because I certainly know we have the mailers here that are just basic small things. If it's like a cartridge or whatever, like if it's a Switch cartridge, yeah, that's going to fit in the smallest mailer that they have. I just have no idea how much postage to Australia is. Maybe that, like, how much it would cost would totally ruin the point. Like, you might as well just buy it there. I don't know.
I'm not actually entirely sure. I mean, at some point, I'm going to have to mail across a bunch of shit anyway.
Right.
In preparation of moving anyway. So it's like, I can test that out with a bunch of DS games, you know, but because they're about the same weight.
Yeah.
But, so, you know, probably no, but at the same time, I have no idea.
Ebony Williams asked, is this not number 11? Yeah, when you had asked before, I said maybe you dipped out. I very likely think that this is for 11. When I was naming it, I even said to myself, is this number 11, number 10, number 9? I couldn't remember. So I guess 10. It likely is 11. I don't know. Grant said I did so much online buying back when our dollar was good.
Yeah. Oh God, I wish I could have back then, but I was like, God, I would have been a kid back then, so it wouldn't have even been. Or would I?
I don't know. When was the last time that the
No, I'm trying to think. Like, no, because he said like 2012 was okay. When someone said that was like when our dollar was like worth more than yours.
Nice.
But no, if it was 2012, it would have been probably like 16 at the time. So definitely not able to buy shit online because I had no way of doing that.
Well, we, believe it or not, have been streaming for over 3 hours.
Oh shit.
Yep. So, well, because I mean, it's at 3:20 according to OBS, but that starts its clock from the moment you press start streaming, and you have to do all that to set the stream up. So I only actually started the stream itself like 20-25 minutes after I started over because of the problems I was having. But it has been a long night at the bar, ladies and gentlemen. So, thank you very much to everybody who came on by to hang out with each other and hang out with us. And thank you, Far, for keeping me company at the bar. And thank you.
It's okay.
You're fine with it. You get free drinks. I know how it works. It's fine.
I get free water.
I told you,
Yay.
you can order booze. You're not limited.
No, I like my water. I like my water with a single ice cube.
Distilled water with a single ice cube. She's so adventurous, guys.
No, not even distilled. Just water. Just tap water. It's fine.
Plain tap water out of the hose from the back alley.
Yeah.
Yeah. But a very special thank you to all the people who tip the bartender. Your donations are greatly and sincerely appreciated. I am getting ever closer to getting a non-potato. It's frightening, man, looking around at the different computer options. It's like I generally know what's going on with computers, but I'm not a savvy computer purchaser.
You know
what I mean?
Get
it's
Platy to help you.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It was like when Platy went to buy a long gun and a handgun. It's like she had shot. She was familiar with guns, but that doesn't mean familiar with purchasing new guns. You know what I mean? So it's like, I got why she came and said, what is an actual reasonable amount to pay for an AR? And I was happy to help, to not have her pay like $1,500 for something she only had to pay $9 for. You know what I mean? So anyway, Pete says we're going to toss you into the street. Not me. Corn pop. Corn pop.
Yeah, you remember the horrifying owl? Yeah, he's gonna do it. That's corn pop.
Yeah, quick, everyone get out of here before that owl comes back. No, but thank you very much to everyone who donated. Thank you for everyone coming by tonight. And a couple people were asking me or saying on Twitter that I should do more Noir Bars. And especially my DMs, I get people saying, why don't you do Noir Bar more regularly or at least more often? Yeah, I should. I always have fun doing it. I should. So it's a good time.
It's the setup that you fucking hate.
It is this. Guys, the setup is so bad. you don't even.
Yeah, I listened to him do it, and it's just like, oh god, this is worse than me trying to figure out how to run shit on my shitty Mac.
I really want to have Sinatra show me how he sets up his streams and do a screen share just so I can watch his process, because I've got this feeling that he's doing something to expedite the process. Because I mean, fuck, he streams what, 5-6 days a week using OBS and OBS Studio, the same one I'm using. I got to have a better plan. Approach it and make it a more expedited version. Anyway, thank you very much for everyone coming in. As we say about this time, you don't got to go home, but you got to get the hell out of here. So we'll see you next time we open our illegal saloon. Until then, have a good night, everyone.
Good night.